Hello and welcome to the stream, to number 47 of the Digital Homicide Streamcast. Today's topic will be Half-Life and Steam and maybe Epic. With me as always is Lothar, so let me unmute him here. Hi Lothar.
Hi,
And oh, the transition almost worked. Why does the flickering start now? I just literally tested it a minute ago. Perfectly fine. Oh, no, it's back. How is that? Okay, I really don't know. This is just driving me nuts. Okay, let's try lower. What?
Hey, my background not in the stream anymore.
Nah, the filter worked better. I don't know why. I had to set it new, so yeah, okay. The quality of Lothar and PC is a bit lower because yeah, well, that's the only way to not have him flickering and fiddling around with technical shit, because I didn't have to do that right before the stream. So and as you can see, I'm partly transparent and never mind. Congratulations and happy birthday, Half-Life. 25 years younger than both of us. So
Yeah,
yeah, I played.
I'm 6 years older than Half-Life.
I'm only a few years older than Half-Life. I totally did not.
6+ years older.
Yeah. Wow. Chat looks really shit. You cannot read that. Yeah. No way. No way you can read chat. Anyway, yeah, I played Half-Life when it came out. I was really too young to play it. But yeah, I played it when it came out, and actually, I thought about we could actually start the new version of Half-Life, because it did get a remaster after 25 years.
You're talking about Half-Life Source?
No, I'm talking about Half-Life. Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't even realize that Half-Life
update with the free copy.
Yeah. So if you own Half-Life, or if you own Half-Life Source, Half-Life Source is gone now. Half-Life Source can be accessed. Can you see that still? Can be accessed, right, through here, through the beta tab. And it's called Legacy now. Because they said the source version is just inferior, and or is that the no, wait, the source, wait, now I have to check. Source is still here. No, source is gone. No, source is gone. So yeah, with the legacy version, that's the old one. The new version. Why is my never mind. So this is the 98 version, so I'm not sure about the source version. Was that removed now? Anyway, updated graphics, lighting, widescreen right out of the box, controller support, Steam Deck. So yeah, they also included a few things they removed back then. So new content.
Half-Life's Deathmatch Source still a thing.
The original demo uplink is included. That's kind of funny. So if you want to see how they promoted it, Deathmatch, the original, is back and stuff like that. So yeah, the original intro video is back. With the original intro video is the logo and everything meant. But I'm gonna just start Half-Life and we can let the intro sequence play, because that was freaking epic back then.
Yeah. This high quality.
Yeah, well, besides the bandwidth from my game being shit now, but and let me change the monitor somewhere else.
Oh, I think you holded shift while you was typing 25.
Huh?
You have 5 years of Half-Life in the title.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. Thanks. Yeah, I was shift. Okay, wow, the quality is really bad. Okay, it's this here. So this is my 21:9 view. Wait, where did Lothar go? Ah, where's Lothar? Huh?
I don't know, I am gone when you're starting
Oh shit.
to figure out how to run Half-Life.
No, I know how to run it. That's not the problem.
Well, I mean on the stream.
Are you? Wait a second. Huh? That's this. That's that. Ah! For fuck's sake. Yeah, Discord needs to be open, but it doesn't matter if other windows are open. But if you minimize Discord, it doesn't count anymore, and then the video goes away. That was the problem.
You closed me.
No, I didn't. I minimized you. I made small Lothar out of you. Okay, so while we're talking shit about, while we're praising big companies. Huh? There we go. They meant this here. That's the original intro.
Oh, that dude.
That dude, exactly. Not the dude with the valve in the back. I still have no idea why. Never mind. Okay, so as you can see, ultra wide beauty. Where's my mouse? Oh, here. Hello. What? Okay, that's weird. I see my mouse cursor move in Half-Life, but only when I watch over on my right screen. I don't see. I see that I'm on load games. I don't even have to look into the game because I have no mouse cursor in the game. Oh, wow. Okay, the problem is I have inverted mouse cursor because I work in different apps. One is dark and the other one is white. And so I can even see the mouse cursor after hours of working with text and stuff. It's basically black in that one program and regular white in other programs. And here, I think with the overlay of Half-Life moving over that, that's messing with the inverted mouse cursor. I cannot see it. I cannot see it. I just see it in OBS. That's hilarious. Okay, so the options. This is so hardcore. Okay. Video options. It's either OpenGL or no, that's not. Huh? Yeah,
That's old school menu.
Yeah, completely old school, but super sharp and everything. Wait.
Well, I don't know about that chip. It doesn't look
Yeah.
that sharp for me.
Here, I mean, I have half the or maybe one. It's a quarter of the bandwidth that I would normally use, but cannot do it any other way. So we have texture filtering and all kind of shit here. Where are the content? You can keep original models and stuff. Multiplayer. Wasn't there more video? Oh, here. Nah. I thought there were more video settings. Okay. Shit, I cannot see the mouse cursor over there. Okay. So, training room. Then you can play uplink, but we're gonna play. Well, we're not gonna play. It's just gonna play in the background.
Good morning and
Wait, actually, I want to turn off audio. MP3 volume. What? That's still pretty loud. Okay, never mind. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about it.
What else I should tell her about it?
I don't know.
My first introduction to Half-Life was Half-Life 2, and it was not a original Half-Life 2. It was some sort of mod that was burned on the disc that I bought, way back then when we had a PC for a year or two, I guess. But no, maybe for 4 years or something like that. But me and my brother already played Postal, and my brother already tried to do something with Postal level editor, basically with Unreal Engine.
Those textures are normally used in a different scale.
So when we got that Half-Life 2 mod, my brother started so that you can turn on the console in control binding. So he basically bind the console to the button, open it, and he basically tried one of the command and he's found listing of the maps that was within game files. What was interesting is that mod had original Half-Life 2 in it. So full game. It was a bit inconvenient to get into it, because to start a new game you should launch the game, and instead of hitting new game, you should have opened the console and type, I don't remember, either load or map and the name of the opening level of Half-Life 2. And that will start normal Half-Life 2.
Without having any knowledge about anything like that, that sounds awfully a lot like the leak that came out. I'm not sure if you had actually the finished version or the leaked version.
I think it was finished version.
Okay.
Because yeah, we played from start to finish, and it was way into life cycle of Half-Life 2. So it was
okay.
not at the release year. I think it was like year or two after the release.
Okay. But yeah, what you can really see well, not on the stream directly, but they changed not every, but most textures. I mean that robot helper in the background, has super sharp textures on it. Still.
Mm-hmm.
Back here. I mean, I can still see the freaking texture. So that model didn't look like that back then.
Oh,
Much
I
more
watched
polygons.
that documentary about 25 years of Half-Life, and the developers was like, yeah, we've made this interactive scene to get players into the mood and whatnot, and a lot of people figure out that you can interact with this scene just by bumping the mouse accidentally.
Yeah.
Same was with me. I played Half-Life 1 way later, like way later. I already saw Counter-Strike 1.6 and the Counter-Strike Source was getting was most popular at the time. Uh,
But
and
you played
somehow I got... Hmm?
you played the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow I got the disc with the first Half-Life.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like this scene, you looking at it, you listening to it, and then you pressing the button to skip it.
Yeah.
And instead of skipping it, you starting to move.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
The textures in here could have been a bit sharper maybe, but that's how it looked back then. So
Hey, it's already enormous job what they did with that.
hey, I mean, when that game came out, I mean, the only other thing that we had, well, the only was the very first game using only polygons for everything in the game, Quake, and also Duke and other stuff. But yeah, the starting sequence of Half-Life just basically changed how most games will do their intro sequences or intros to the story or whatever.
Yeah, and even now, not a lot of games start with interactive sequences at the start.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you shown best case scenario in-game engine cutscene, and then it hard cut to gameplay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In some you can maybe pan the camera a little bit, but moving around, yeah, no, that's not a thing. One thing when it comes to games, completely unrelated to Steam or Half-Life, I played a game that basically that has a checkpoint system, and the moment you start the game and it loads the intro, logos, and every kind of shit, it also loads the checkpoint in the background. So when you get into the menu, you see the graphics of the checkpoint in the background, and first I was like, ah, cool, it just shows that. But you are already in the game. When you press continue the first time after loading the game, it's everything you do basically is pressing escape to get the menu away. You're directly in the game.
Oh yeah, I saw that trickery with Dead Space 2023.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's the only game that I saw that actually requires SSD.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that because game can't load necromorphs in time.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it can with time. So if you play like 10 minutes, necromorphs will not have problem with loading most of the time. But if you just starting fresh, you might start getting the damage and you have nothing in front of you. Or you might just running forward and then necromorph like... And he's like, the heck is that? You're supposed to be scared of me.
green screen. Seriously. I hate you. Green screen, I hate you. Yeah, what's with the lighting in here today? Something's...
Yeah, last time you was also half transparent.
Yeah, different color now, sweatshirt wise, not helping. Oh, for fuck's sake. Really? Wow. Yeah, keep talking. I have to figure out some shit here.
Yeah, okay. When you said that back then you had stuff like Quake, Duke Nukem, Blood, and whatnot, we should not forget that Quake was 3D while Duke was 2D.
Well,
Yes, it have a 3D environment, but everything that was around you was 2D.
yeah, most of it, yeah. Character models and stuff that you could pick up, those were 2D sprites, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, most of the switches that you pulled was also just a texture on the wall.
Yeah, but you basically just pushed it. It was not like you're pulling a lever or something like that.
So yeah, when it comes to Half-Life, it was definitely a giant leap forward.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay, it's not getting any better. Fuck it. I don't care.
Now you ghostly one in no time.
Yeah, screw it. But yeah, this was pretty epic. The start of Half-Life was something new. Yeah.
Not only the beginning of Half-Life, but also all the scripted sequences and the moving mouth of NPCs.
Yeah.
Right now we take it as granted, and we got offended when games not do that. But back then it was basically revolutionary.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the thing is, when you think about it, there are not that many games that, I mean, if you think about that, this game is from 25 years ago, and then you compare it with modern games. There's more going on in Half-Life when it comes to interaction with NPCs and scripted sequences and stuff like that than in a lot of modern games.
Yeah, and that because Gabe Newell, that was set in the documentary, insisted that every, I don't remember, either 2, 3, or 5 seconds around players must happen something.
Mm-hmm.
Either dialogue of NPCs, explosions, enemies spawning in, and whatnot. So yeah, Half-Life basically filled with content.
Yeah,
You can
definitely.
see you can see doors opening and closing. Yeah, it's maybe not that grand of a spectacle of Gargantua blasting your ass off the map, but still, it's not like no death zone.
With
No, death zone.
with all the interaction and stuff and the scripted sequences, it's really just the optics that tell you that the game is 25 years old. Besides that, story-wise and interaction-wise, it aged really well. So, and if you're too young that you played this, well, you could have gotten it for free. It was free a few days ago. Black Mesa.
I got it for free.
Yeah, me too. Well, I already had it, so yay! But there's a indie game that's based on a mod that combines the original Half-Life with a few functionalities of Half-Life 2, and that's called Black Mesa. That's basically the full and complete Half-Life 1 and the Half-Life 1 that we would have wanted back then. So it's basically
Yay!
it's Half-Life on
played-
steroids.
Yeah, in a way it is, but I tried to play Black Mesa. While I can say that most of the parts it's amazing, but when they start to follow their own hearts and mind and not follow how it was made in Half-Life, you can see the cracks in the design.
Yeah,
Black Mesa have places that have original creative minds in it, and some of it actually pretty fine, but some of those, like reworked Big Mama fight, not working at all.
yeah, and they also added their own. That's what you mean. Their own levels. I think 2 levels in the alien world or something, and yeah, that's yeah. When you base your game on Half-Life, which has pretty good level design, including secret areas, shortcuts, and all kind of shit. And you're not a level designer on that level, and you add your own levels to something like that. Yeah, you.
Funny thing is, Half-Life game designers was mod makers. They were amateurs. They basically said themselves, it's not like they had the PhDs and whatnot. They just happened to be incredibly talented, and even even though they incredibly talented, it still had a lot of direction to get all those levels together, because in that documentary they had a moment when they said like, one time we got all the levels that we built together and gave them to Gabe to play them. He played them for 2 days straight, and after he finished, he was like, and the team had a feeling that we're going to fail. We're going to fail fast.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have an art director and you have I don't know, level design manager or whatnot, in a company like Valve, you just have a handful of people looking over stuff. It's not like just 1 or 2 persons making the levels. So there are more people involved in making a level. It's the one who...
I was surprised when I heard that person who made all of the sounds for Half-Life 2, all of the sound, those trickery that making sounds reverb and whatnot in different areas. He also composed all of the musics and made some programming for enemies and game as well.
Yeah, well, you know, back in the day, you started with coding, then you saw, okay, I like that more or I like that more, but back then a lot of people had a lot of knowledge about all of the areas. Nowadays, you need somebody, you go online and say, hey, I need somebody for audio, and or go on Fiverr, say, hey, I need a soundtrack for a game here, $100 or I don't know. So back then there was no internet, or well, it started when Half-Life and all that stuff was out. It was the beginning of the internet, at least here in Europe, and was a bit different than today. So yeah, the resources that you had access to and stuff. So yeah, today it's much easier to make games or anything. You go online, you check out the tutorial, you download the ebook or whatever, and yeah, it's much easier today. But back then,
Or you download a bunch of plugins that already have solution made, that already have pre-made solution.
yeah, or you go to an AI and say, hey, I need a soundtrack for a game. kinda.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about.
So yeah, back in the day, you had to learn a lot of stuff on your own because, well, if you didn't had anybody in your area, and I know, there was nobody you could ask. So in my friend group, I was the only one or the first one with computers. So who am I supposed to ask? Everybody was, back then, more people were still like, yeah, computer, really? Why? And I was like,
You still have those people among us.
yeah, true.
You even have people who can't get a grip of that, and they holding that shit basically most of the time of the day.
Yeah. And they don't even realize what's going on in a freaking smartphone these days. It's not working. Dude, do you even know that basically anything in there, any any um any lane between chips and whatever is like 1/10 of your freaking hair? Now go fuck yourself and make a freaking phone like that. Dude, I know how the phones looked 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I know how the...
I'm old enough to sell those shitters as well.
Hey, I mean, the first mobile phone was this big. It looked like the small version of the military phone that they used back in the day. You know, the huge thing, like in Vietnam and stuff.
Yeah. I also saw the phones as well on the pictures and in the movies.
Yeah, the first one was the Motorola back then. Insanely huge thing. We here call it the German term of the bone. So it looked like a huge bone, and yeah, so. And before that, you had the mobile phones were like basically a suitcase with a phone on top of it, but it was a suitcase, and you could have that in your car in the middle console. Then you were super special. Phone in your car. Whoa, hey.
Yeah, also Motorola, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they were the first doing that. And now Motorola is, well, they're still kind of around, but
Mostly gone with the wind.
yeah. So yeah, and I have the background to know what's going on in the phone, and I'm Gen X. So Gen X is the last generation that grew up as children without the internet and then into the internet. So any generation that comes now cannot even imagine how a world without the internet would work.
I'm a millennial, but I was born in the Russia of 90s, basically during the time when Russia did not existed.
Yeah,
We had our problems. We basically lived through post-apocalypse for 10 or so years. There was people who had internet, but for majority it was unavailable.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Same here. It was so expensive. I mean,
It was not the problem that it was expensive as well, but the technology wasn't there. Most of that it was basically on the west part of Russia, in Moscow and St. Petersburg. But when it comes further east, we start to have problems.
Yeah, I mean.
So yeah, I also we as millennials, in particularly in Russia, have also experience growing without the internet and into internet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, some parts of the world just didn't get it as soon. I mean, yeah, and rural parts of the world, they might not even have phone back then. So yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh yeah, but yeah, after millennials generation Y, yeah, no, after millennials was Y or Z?
Millennials are Gen Z.
Okay.
So
in our case, Gen Z have no idea how it is to live without internet.
Yeah, pretty much. But well, it's well, you know, not having access to it is, well, a lot of people still have no access to the internet. I mean, even in Germany,
that's true.
we have parts where there is just no internet, but they still know there is no world without it. You know, if you order something anywhere, it's all done through internet. So if the internet would be gone, everybody in every country would realize that, even if you don't have internet at home. But
Yeah, that's true.
your order wouldn't come in anymore. You might not have electricity, like a few years ago when hackers basically turned off New York's power grid. So the safety today when it comes to that is, in my opinion, much lower than it was back in the 80s or early 90s, because back then reactors haven't been on the freaking internet. There was no access to get there. It started back then. The first few hacks were around that time with Chernobyl and stuff, I think. There's even a movie in Germany that handled that topic, where a German hacker was selling information to the KGB and whatnot. So hardcore stuff back then. But it was a different it wasn't the World Wide Web. It was
Local web,
the net.
basically.
But yeah, it was pre-internet that we know. So anyway, Half-Life. And Half-Life 2 was basically the start with the orange box of Steam. Before that, no, Half-Life 1 there was no Steam. Well, there was Steam, but
I think Half-Life 2 is the first game that they started distributing through Steam.
yeah, it was the orange box. There was Half-Life 2, Portal, Team Fortress. Well, Half-Life Deathmatch. Yeah, I think that.
Started
On Counter-Strike, I think.
September 12th, 2003.
Yeah. A handful of users who didn't care about security back then. They did get their 20-year badge on Steam already. I was one of those people back then. You were still kind of holding back giving out your information to companies in the United States and stuff. And it was... wait, Steam came after 9/11? Huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
It was in 2003.
Yeah, no. 9/11 was 2001.
Well, Steam was released in 2003, so...
Yeah, that's what I just said. That it came after 9/11, and I did not realize that.
Oh, you mean that security?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that might have been one of the reasons why, especially Germany and giving out your data and information was a bit So it had a negative taste to it for the first half year or so, and that's the reason why I got into Steam much later. I was already playing Counter-Strike Source online in tournaments and stuff, but we refused to go to Steam. Basically, the whole clan, we were just playing with Crossfire back then. And what was the other one? Game. Ah, shit.
Well, basically, some of those things
Well,
to create a
the
homebrew server.
Yeah. Shit, what was the name of that? It was so big, and then it was gone a few years ago. Well, anyway,
GameSpy?
GameSpy, exactly. Yeah, GameSpy. GameSpy was the shit back then, and the way to play online games with friends and with your clan. and TeamSpeak instead of Discord. So yeah, my time, the most of my playtime of Counter-Strike Source is not in Steam. It's in Crossfire, which is not existing anymore. So I think in Steam it shows 100 hours or so. But yeah, we had training every few days, so I did play Counter-Strike Source. Not thousands of hours like others, but I have more than 100 hours in Source. But then, yeah, I kind of switched. I don't even know. I think I bought the orange box in my workplace or something. As box. as actual orange box. Not digital. God, Steam looked so different back then. Crazy.
Yeah, I saw screenshots that it was looking like, well, basically menu in Half-Life 1.
Yeah, it was basically, yeah, you just had a list of your games that you could play. That was it.
Well, technically it is still a list of the games you can play.
Yeah, but you had nothing. There was no community, there was no markets,
Yeah, I
there,
know that.
there were no stickers, achievements, friend list, all that bullshit wasn't even. Oh, friend list. No, friend list. I think that existed relatively early. What they also had
Yeah.
really soon or relatively early back then was a really high quality game voice. So if you wanted to play with a friend, the voice that they had integrated in Steam was top quality. Was much better if you just wanted to play with one friend. It was much better than TeamSpeak. Right click, start voice chat, bang, and it worked. I even had a controller. I had a headset from Microsoft Sidewinder. They named everything Sidewinder back then. And it came with a little controller like the Steam Deck over 20 years ago. And I could mute my mic with a button there. I could switch between channels with a button. Awesome. I still have it. It's not working anymore, but I have all my gadgets like that. So yeah, Steam voice chat was really good back then. And
Well, Steam chat still not bad.
oh no, voice is good. I mean, I didn't use it
Yeah.
for a long time because Discord, so there's no reason to use it anymore. And you're limited to one person, I think, or maybe a few. I think you can have
I think
group voice.
after Valve made changes to make Steam chat look like Discord, you can have group chats. I think, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not using the
yeah,
that much.
text chat, yes. Voice, I don't know. I know you have group chats. Yeah, that yes. But that's written chat.
Yeah, I know.
Voice, I'm not sure.
Same here. I'm not sure. But again, that shows that Valve knew what to give people. So Steam was like, wanna find a server for Counter-Strike or Half-Life Deathmatch? Here you go.
Oh yeah, that
And then after some time pass, wanna buy our previous games? Same way. Buy it from us directly.
yeah. Finding games that easy with Counter-Strike, that's also, I guess, one of the reasons why a lot of people adapted to Steam.
Also VAC.
Yeah. You had a safety, well, the kind of safety at the moment that you didn't know who was a hacker, and you still see it when you go to a profile with the backbands. And it's always funny when people say, "Ah, yeah, that wasn't me back then. That was a friend." Or fuck off! Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
and if you risked a VEC ban back then, and you think it was a stupid idea today, well, you still did stupid shit. I never did anything like that, so I don't know anybody who hacked in multiplayer games. Those people, I don't know. It doesn't work with me.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of cheaters in multiplayer games, and when it comes to debates, you should people use cheats in games or not? I'm always going with the option in single players. People can do whatever they want. They can mod the shit out of it. They can use cheats however they like. But in
Mm.
multiplayer games, skin swap that's okay. But cheats, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, yeah, that's the same. And I don't know if you already have that mindset in you. I don't think that you completely get it out, even if you grow up. In some way, you might still try to cheat life, you know.
Yeah, and basically, when Valve had this big problem with bot infestation in Team Fortress 2, community of Team Fortress 2 started to get a bit more vigilant against cheaters, and we basically got a lot. Well, a lot. Why I'm saying a lot? That I mean, I've heard about at least five top players from Platinum Leagues that was banned for using cheats.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
they were, yeah, it's not like they were bad players. They just used cheats to get a slight advantage because because they had their limit, and instead of training to get better, they made it so they can cut cut the line a bit, so they would play better than they actually are.
Yeah, but it's still it's the same like people who dope in sports. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure, you kinda achieved something, but you didn't achieve it fully on your own. So
yeah, and if you stop using dope, you will lose all of the edge.
yeah, that's the problem. I mean, if you don't manage to, it's basically the same with a regular job. I mean, if you become a brain surgeon, you cannot cheat your way there. You need to be freaking good at what you're doing. Otherwise, you're not doing that job. So yeah, in sports, yeah, you can cheat, but eventually it will come out, and then you will lose everything that you did in your whole fucking life. So yeah, it might be a better idea to push a bit harder. But if you're at a limit where you see it's not getting any further and others are better, well, that's it then. You're not good enough than those. Then you just do it as a hobby and you stop. But if you dope, it's not you, it's the freaking chemicals that do the job. So if I would be a sports person doing I don't know, Olympics or whatever, and I would dope, first, I wouldn't. And second, I would always have that in my mind that it wasn't me. It was the drugs. It's never you. The last, I don't know, 10 or 20% that you need to become world class or world record level or whatever is not you. So you will always have the question in your head, could I have done it on my own? And you will never know that answer. Never ever. So.
Well, yeah. Again, about topic of cheating, VAC really helps.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, when you have an option to play without protection, and when it comes to people who cheats, it's basically some of them not even hiding that they cheating. They just go straight and ruin games for everyone.
I, I just switched from the updated version to the legacy version, and it updated 8.57 megabytes. they they managed to do ultra wide and all that jazz with 8 megabytes. I mean, that's basically what gets removed to have the original back. And I'm gonna start the original as well and let that run in the background. So you will have some. Oh, it starts completely without any intro movie. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. And I still don't have a mouse cursor. What the frick?
So yeah, when we're talking about Steam and whatnot, it also was revolutionary. Yes, back then it maybe looked like Origin or Uplay right now. Well, right now because both Origin and Uplay died and they replaced with the different stores from the same companies. I still call them Origin and Uplay. So Valve knew that they what they providing you with, and it's basically they get a lot of people in one place, gave them community, gave them ability to buy their games from their own store, and here we are.
Yeah, it was definitely a great idea, and it was. Well, we already had our community ways or possibilities with TeamSpeak, with GameSpy. Valve basically just put that all together in one package. That's what they did.
Yeah.
So
And Steam also was a matchmaking program. Well, basically program to connect you from one server to another. I do remember some games used to have multiplayer made completely by Steam. And it wasn't that long ago.
okay, here we go. Training room. Don't need a training room. Oh, it's super tiny on my monitor now. Mouse cursor is like. Okay, this is the original. Oh, wait, I need to.
Did you lower the volume?
Yeah, it's relatively low. That option was taken over, I think. I mean, I still hear her, but she's not as loud. So yeah, this is the same texture, but you can see difference in the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And also the lighting is different. You had a loading time here. In the remaster, there's no loading time until you get in that door. So yeah, that's where you can see the difference.
Yeah, that also kind of interesting how Valve managed to hide those transitions. It wasn't like you jumping from one mission to another, but you getting to the loading spot and you almost seamlessly transition into a different scene.
Yeah. When you think about the loading times, I mean that's like ping. It's like it's like a 1 second tiny lag, and it loaded the next sequence. So you see it really for a second loading. That's it. So yeah, pretty nice. And yeah, like you said, there's always something going on, and you do get into a train at another point. That's always a way to have something happening, but yeah, well, still loading in the background. But I think those textures might actually be updated. But yeah, that's what we saw back then. And well, I was like, oh, awesome!
I was still impressed by what I saw in original Half-Life, even though I came to that game after I played different games. I think I already played first Stalker by the. Yeah, I definitely played Fear by the time I played first Half-Life.
Okay. Yeah, Fear definitely looks better than the original Half-Life. But it's
I
also
already played
different.
Half-Life 2 as well.
Yeah. I mean, the original Half-Life, with the fact that you have all those interactions and scripted sequences, that made it age pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, Freeman is 27 in the game. Old guy now.
Yeah. He would have troubles if he would be put in Half-Life 3 right now.
That's the reason why they never made it. Fuck, now we know. Gordon is too old. Shit.
Time for Ivan the Space Biker.
That's why they used Alex in Half-Life Alex. Because the Freeman is too old now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that still looks like
Oh,
a bit
that
updated.
loader.
It still looks like updated textures.
Yeah, maybe. It might be the game didn't load original textures and just loaded some scripts and whatnot.
Maybe. But yeah, the updated version barely loads. I think there was
Hey,
only that load screen when I went into the headquarters.
well, it's.
Oh yeah, by the way, there's the G-Man. It's the first time where you see it. Where you see him. You will see him a few times in the series.
Yeah.
And I do need to get that mod. You can play Half-Life 2, I think almost fully. Episode 1 and 2 also all in VR with full motion controls.
Oh yeah. I've heard something about.
You can even put that in the awards. VR mods can be chosen as a VR game, apparently. Some, not all, but...
Ah.
Be sure to check your area for personal belongings. Thank you, and have a very safe and productive
Have a safe and productive day. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's gonna be the way it works.
Gordon did nothing wrong. He only pushed the thing in thingy because he was told to push thing in the thingy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm innocent. Other people are responsible.
But yeah, what Half-Life did, what also cool stuff that Half-Life did, that they put you as a scientist basically in cool suit, but still a scientist and not like marine, military guy, cop or whatnot.
Yeah, you're basically your average Joe and not a trained professional.
Well, I wouldn't call him an average Joe because he is a PhD major in what was that?
No,
So-
when it comes to fighting, he's a freaking average Joe.
Yeah, okay. When
Even
it
le-
comes to
even-
fighting, he's an average Joe. But when you look how his moves,
Yeah, true. But basically, you start like the boss in the office. Basically, you're a nerd. Yeah, you're me. No, okay, you're not me. I'm really a bad example because I did extreme sports and stuff. So I'm really a bad example. But you're a nerd who barely goes outside. You have a white shirt with a pocket protector for pens. Yeah, that's Gordon Freeman. And Gordon Freeman would be like, hey Gordon, here's a 5 kilogram sledgehammer, and Gordon would be like, oh!
yeah, basically all this. Gordon not speaking because all this time he's internally screaming.
Yeah, now he's just out of breath from the HP, from the suit. He's like 30 kilograms. It protects me, but and that's where you start with a crowbar and not with a, like, I don't know, Gatling gun or whatever, you know, Rambo. the gun.
You still end up having an impressive arsenal on yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you become Rambo on the way. I mean, the suit. The logic of the game, the suit helps you build up muscle, you know, and I'm Gordon.
The logic of the game, because that's what makes it fun. When it comes to shot marks on the walls, Gabe Newell was like, I want to have points on the wall when your bullets hit the wall. He was told, but that's not realistic. He said, that's fun, because I'm interacting with the wall. I want to see the interaction, the result of interaction on the wall.
But what is not realistic? That you can make bullet holes in a wall?
Well, in solid metal wall, yes.
I mean, it depends on the wall that you're shooting at and the weapon that you're using. So
But,
a smaller
yeah.
projectile on a concrete steel wall, yeah, might just break out parts. You will see where you hit the wall. You will always see where you hit the wall. It just doesn't look like
not those bullet holes as we used to.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it just penetrates it right there without anything. Yeah, that's working on wood, on plywood and stuff like that. Yeah, then you have a hole. Concrete wall, not exactly. But it also depends on the material of the wall and what bullet penetrates it. Because some projectiles, they can go in, and the other side is basically the big hole, because that's where all the energy goes out. So it doesn't exactly look like in here on concrete walls, but yeah, it wouldn't have been technically possible back then. In days today, when you shoot at a wall in RoboCop, it does break off parts of the wall. You don't just see the points. But yeah, back then, yeah. I do understand him, and I also understand the reasoning of the developers saying, hey, but that's not realistic. That's true.
Well, basically we also have a lot. This is the big of the arsenal, because that's fun. You don't restrict it to 2 weapons. You can choose from whole variety of weapons and pick whatever you think more suitable or you most familiar with.
Yeah. I mean, these days, if you play a military simulator or a sniper game, yeah, you're limited to your weapons because those games are based on reality. So when they introduced that same idea into Duke Nukem Forever, everybody was like, huh? Duke is a dude, like, you know, this buffed, he can have all the weapons on the back. They gave us 2 weapons, and with a patch you can have 4 weapons now. But seriously,
or it's not unlimited arsenal of the weapons.
Yeah, limited arsenal in a freaking brainless shooter, you know? It's not like a simulator or I still didn't finish it. I need to do that one day. I should do a 24-hour shit show stream, you know? Just bad games and start with that.
I'll put a candle for your soul may rest in peace in the church.
Yeah, do that. Do that. Pray for me. The performance is freaking awesome. I mean, yeah. I think I could
Well, it's
play.
25 for game. Okay, it's Half-Life Source and not Gold Source, but still.
Yeah, it's locked to 100 FPS. So okay, quit game. Thank you. Let me switch back again. None.
It's it's kind of amazing how big of a cultural impact had Half-Life.
When you update to the remaster version, it's 27 megabytes. So it is a bit bigger. But yeah, that definitely had a shit ton of impact. And just that logo, if you put that logo somewhere, a gamer that is older than 20 years will know that logo.
Well, it's not like younger generations doesn't know about that logo. You can put Alan Wake symbols all over the place and people would be like, the fuck is that? You can put tilde on the wall with that circle. It would be like Half-Life.
When did they change the A in Half-Life to that icon?
I don't know.
That's new. Every game of Half-Life does have that icon in its logo now, which is also.
I think it used to be like that.
I'm not sure, actually. I know it was really always prominent here in the background with original Half-Life, but with the newer ones, that's kind of weird. Huh.
Yeah, I think I saw it in Half-Life 2, but I didn't play it for a long time.
That's interesting. Well, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, it was always in the shortcut icon, so...
Valve. Back then, I still think those logos are freaking stupid and weird, but and now with the back,
it's iconic.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, for those who don't know, yeah, the place you go to is the Black Mesa station, so yeah. Hence the Black Mesa game. Okay, that's the updated version again. Yay! Oh yeah, and you still had a sway where you actually moved your body to the side. You tilted your body into the direction where you were walking.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Running into corners, you were also slightly tilting in that direction.
I think Source Engine didn't have that feature.
No, it had that.
No, it have, because it is an updated version. I don't remember what I'm talking about.
But yeah, loading time, click, 1 second, loaded. This is fucking awesome. This is, I mean, besides the fact that it's installed on SSD now, but hey, I mean, 25 years ago, if we had that, because the loading times were longer back then, but still, absolutely fine and manageable. Oh yeah,
yes, it's still not like you loading the assets, game showing you logos, then again loading assets, game showing you, well, cartoon, let's call it like that, then game loading assets, you walking like 2 or 3 meters away, and then game loading the game.
Yeah. You can now, because you couldn't do that back then, you can read his security badge. I mean, not everything, because I cannot get close enough, but you can read security, and that wasn't a thing. And the picture, that was not a thing back then. Definitely 100% not. Impossible. It was... The badge looked basically as detailed as this. Can you read it? Well, you can see the cursor down there. It's DOS. So yeah, I do have something open in the background. I wanted to provide some hard infos. Original publisher for Half-Life was Sierra Online. So yeah, kind of weird that Sierra Online never really was an online company. Really? So that would have been easy for Sierra to just, hey, we have a shit ton of games. Let us do that. But no.
Well, if I remember correctly, Valve was looking for solution to make playing Counter-Strike Half-Life mod, basically.
Yeah.
Make playing Counter-Strike more convenient without third-party solutions, like GameSpy or whatnot.
Yeah, Half-Life was the first game of Valve. And when you think about what Valve became, I mean, they were indie developer back then, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely impressive. So,
and to be fair, they were still indie when they launched Steam.
Well, yeah, sure. Totally. Until they basically became publisher for other games as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, first game of them. What other infos do we have? Released 1998, November 19th. So basically 6 years ago, 6 days, 25 years ago. What else do we have? It won over 50 Game of the Year awards. Considered one of the most influential FPS games. Yeah, obviously. Blue Shift is something that I started playing but never really finished it.
Let's say that humor ain't landing, at least for me.
Yeah, well, you see a lot of those soldiers that just let you in, and it's based around that basically. Half-Life DK? Okay, I missed that. That was a third expansion for the game. Developed by Gearbox.
Half-Life DK, it's console exclusive. Console exclusive.
Ah, yeah, okay, I just see it. Yeah, here, PlayStation 2 version of Half-Life. Okay. It's the only cooperative game. 2 players must work together to progress through the game. Oh, that's cool. Focuses on 2 of Freeman's colleagues. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know. Released 2001. More puzzle-oriented. Okay, interesting.
Well, it's basically Portal before Portal and with fighting.
Okay. Well,
I didn't play it. I just explained how I understood the gameplay.
Yeah, but there were no portals or anything because Portal wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
The original that inspired and well, the team who made Nabacular Drop is the team that created Portal. So Nabacular Drop is a free game that you can play and download, and is basically Portal, but in a fantasy medieval like world where you play a little girl and you have to open portals to let rocks roll through on buttons and whatnot. Really, really nice game, and pretty tricky at times. And yeah, I think Gabe saw that somewhere, and yeah, basically took the whole student team, and yeah, that became the Portal team.
Yeah, and basically after a good experience of hiring modders for creation of original Half-Life, I can see why they continued to hire modders and giving them more opportunities to realize their ambitions and whatnot.
They didn't hire modders for Half-Life.
They did. They hired people who created some expansion packs for original Doom.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but
TNT expansion.
yeah, okay, yeah, they used to be modders. Yeah, one of the was it Tim Sweeney or something? I'm really bad with names, but one of the guys who is basically or was responsible for models and textures and skins and everything for id Software was the person who made the first multiplayer skins for Doom. All he did was making basically a green skin, a red skin, and whatever. So people had their different colors, and he was hired by them and became one really big guy at id Software. So yeah, the gaming industry is still one of the, if not the only industry where you can become huge just by having the right hobby. So if you like to make 3D models, you can become big in the industry. If you just like to make textures and stuff, it doesn't matter. If you're good in level creation, yeah, if you want to get a job in gaming industry, look up one sector that interests you, and yeah, you go there. I had too many, and it took me decades to end up where I'm now. I'm not creating games, I'm fixing them, but I kind of ended up in the gaming industry without an education. So yeah, that's one of those areas.
If we talk about the original Half-Life, they in documentary they said that they had a really diverse backgrounds. Like somebody was previously a surgeon, somebody was a salesperson, somebody was in higher ups of some company and whatnot, and they all came together to make a game. Just some small, most influential game of PC of its time.
Yeah, well, you know, back then, it's not like now. If you start making games now, there's a huge industry, a huge community background and whatnot. That wasn't really a thing back then. So a lot of people, well, it was new. Gaming and everything was still new back then, and now it's so much easier. Now everybody, my mom could make a game if she wanted to. That was impossible back then. Absolutely impossible. There were no engines that you just downloaded, opened, and did stuff. No. There was a shit ton of coding included and making their own engines. And Half-Life is based on Quake, by the way.
And fun story, they got a pre-released copy of Quake.
It was
basically Gabe and
it was modified.
Other dude. Yeah, it is modified, but they got pre-released copy of Quake engine. They basically got into id Software because one of their colleagues shifted from Microsoft to it. They fly to him, speak with Romero, and he gave them the pre-release copy of Quake.
It was. Yeah, it's the gold source. Sometimes called the Half-Life engine, is a proprietary game engine developed by Valve. At its core, Gold Source is a heavily modified version of id Software's Quake engine. It originally made its debut in '98 in Half-Life with power feature blah 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 blah. Okay. It was succeeded by the Source engine in Half-Life Source, which still is inferior, kinda so.
Yeah, in a way. And now we have Source Engine 2 that criminally used only by Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah. Yeah, Gabe said that the majority of the code used in the engine was created by Valve themselves.
Still, the fact that they got a pre-release copy of Quake to make their own engine based on it.
Yeah, well, back in the day, I think developers still kinda helped each other a little bit more than these days. Today it's all about this here.
Well, it basically was like one small game developer talking with another small game developer. It wasn't like Valve was talking with Zenimax, who was talking with Microsoft
Yeah.
about giving Valve the code.
Exactly. It was basically, hey, dude, we're making something here. Do you have something to help us out? Yeah, we got some code here. Maybe you can use it. It was. They were basically creating what we have now, and yeah, there were concurrent companies, but it wasn't like, oh, that guy is bringing out an FPS game, that guy is bringing out an FPS game, and that guy is bringing out an FPS game, so those 3 games are basically the same. No. One company released a freaking shooter, the other one a tactical game, the next one came with a sports game. It was not like, oh my god, I have 20 shooters now, which one should I get? No. There was a shooter. You liked the topic, you bought it. That's it. And that's what you played for the next few weeks. So, even
most likely for the next few years.
Yeah, depending on the game and where you were, yeah. And in my case, even I played tactical games back then. We had nothing else. I played Civilization back in the day. But I mean, there was nothing else. You didn't know about the games. You played what you got, and if you liked it, for whatever reason, you continue to play it. If you didn't, well, I wanted to show on stream my original copy of Civilization, my disc copy, but I didn't find the box. It is in a closet somewhere. So yeah, it wasn't that hard. I mean, you had a few games every month that came out, and they were expensive, so you saved up for those games, and
and you really hoped that the game you picked didn't have Star Force curse.
Back in the day, there was no Star Force.
Well, I mean, for me it was Star Force.
Yeah. The issues with all those copy protection things started with Windows 98, where the CD was really a thing. Somebody was cute earlier. It was about Quake, and some other troll posted some shit about, my 2.5-inch discs are not working anymore. Well, I corrected that, were 3.5. And one guy, that was never, Quake 1 was never released on disc. I installed it from disc, and it got a new release on CD where the soundtrack was included. That's why they said the CD version is the better version, because you can just play it put it in a player and listen to the fucking awesome soundtrack. One of the best soundtracks of all time. So yeah, I installed it from the disc.
9-inch nails.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's included in the remaster, I think. In the remaster, the soundtrack is included again in the digital one.
Yeah, I think it is.
It was tricky to have the original in Steam with the original soundtrack. So, because license reasons, if you bought Quake a few years ago, there was no music in it. It was silent, which is shit. Because one funny thing that I learned a little bit later, because I didn't listen to 9-inch Nails back then, the chests that you find have the logo of 9-inch Nails on it. I never knew what that meant. Well, I don't know. And then a friend told me. But yeah, it was disc, because original Quake was DOS. There was no Windows 95 back then when Quake came out. No, you started it from a freaking disc. So, oh wait, 95 actually came out already, I think. But it was DOS. Quake was definitely a DOS game. And DOS didn't support CD-ROM. Well, at least not back then. Anyway, it's funny when people talk about stuff and they're, I have the CD in my hand. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. was still a disc version. So yeah. There wasn't a reply yet, so either that person was like, oh fuck, I'm wrong. I replied like, sorry, you're wrong. Alright, I still have Half-Life running in the background. So yeah, what other info do I have here? It's funny that Half-Life was on a PlayStation 2. I kinda missed that back then. Wasn't really big into PlayStation, but I should have kinda seen that.
I think it only was the add-on that Gearbox made. I'm not sure if it actually had a original game. But when it comes to shooters, it's not like PlayStation 2.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Decay is multiplayer, but it was released alongside Half-Life's debut on the platform. It's based on Half-Life. You cannot just release the add-on without the base game, so that's not working. It was Half-Life Decay was the last version that ran on Gold Source. Interesting. Wow, there have been a ton of games using Gold Source, and they name titles up to 2014 Counter-Strike Nexon Studio.
Oh yeah, Chinese Counter-Strike.
Yeah. But they already switched to Source at that time. Source, Counter-Strike Source was 2002 or so. That was when I played in clans. Oh, that might be a nice read for me. Modeling and animating for Half-Life, interactive graphics lecture. Yeah, so we're still waiting for Half-Life 3. We're also still waiting for episode 3, which is still not there.
And it doesn't look like it would be released because of the Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, no, episode 3 is it's over. It's they canceled it years ago, but
yeah,
it's bullshit. It makes no sense because episode 2, well, it has an open end basically, and it doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't get finished with Half-Life Alyx because Half-Life Alyx is basically a prequel, so or it plays in between 1 and 2 or something. I don't know. I don't understand how a company like Valve with that much money and millions of people asking for Half-Life 3 or Episode 3, why they don't just make it.
I think they just don't want to make it. Like they don't know how to continue the story. It's not like Valve in the position to chase those monies. Steam providing them with basically unlimited amount of monies.
Yeah, that's true. They don't need it. But
if they would feel like they want to make it, they will make it. They were same way how they made the Alyx. They just felt like it.
Yeah. I mean, Alyx was also meant to sell Index. So
that's true. But still, it's not like it's just a cheap cash grab.
No, that's definitely not. I mean, there's even a mod out for people without VR, so you can play it in Pancake, so flat. You can play Half-Life Alyx without VR. I don't know how and why you would do that, because I mean, simulating mouse controls into a VR mod is one thing, but you have two individual hands that you move without any interaction with your head. So I can do with my pistol here whatever, and the game knows and does whatever I do here. So in Half-Life Alyx, if I want to take the pistol from here and throw it over my head from back to front and catch it in my other hand, that's possible. How is that? That is impossible in 2D. There is no way that you can do that. So I think
Yeah, I get it. That's why I'm not even trying to buy this game and run it with patch.
I don't think it's a good idea to play it with a mod just to have played it for the story because of those reasons. It's based on VR. It's not a 2D game that got VR on top of it. There is no 2D version. There's only a VR version. It was made for VR, and you feel that. And I still need to finish it. But it feels great. It looks great, and there are a shit ton of awesome mods that I need to get. There's an editor and everything. Yeah. One day. Yeah, but we're still, I mean, it would be just a nice gift, for the community. Be like, hey, you know what? 25 years later, here, have the next installment, and just finish it with that. Then they could just move on, But Half-Life is not finished.
I get what you're talking about.
So
let's not forget that Half-Life 1 also was not finished, and you basically was in suspended state before Half-Life. So, if we're talking about Episode 3 or Half-Life 3, we basically at the same point, but without... we're basically at the same point. We in suspended state. Maybe Valve working on it, maybe not. But looking how Valve X'd original version of Half-Life 2 because build was leaked, we can say for sure that at least more than one iterations of Half-Life 2 Episode 3 or Half-Life 3 was X'd as well.
Yeah, the leak definitely was bad. So yeah, maybe that's the reason why they say we are not working on Source 3 or whatever. I don't know. No idea, but
well,
they could.
Nobody expected that they working on Counter-Strike 2.
Well, that was known for years.
I know that they
same with Go, and that's the weird thing. It's not like they're not making or working on their games.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just released Counter-Strike 2, new Source engine update.
Yeah. We also heard about Source 2 years ago, but we didn't see results of Source 2 before Counter-Strike 2.
Nah. No, Source 2 is in parts used for a while already.
Dota 2, if I remember correctly, but if you compare what is you can see in Dota 2 against what you can see in Counter-Strike specifically with smoke and stuff.
Yeah, but that's I mean, they have the basis. It's not like they have to go to another company anymore, to Itake or to the Epic engine or anything.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They have an engine they know really, really well. They have several teams that work and can work on games. So
and also don't forget that they're working on Steam Proton, big screen, also Steam itself, and dozens of more projects.
Yeah, but those are all different teams. They don't develop games. Those teams don't have to do with game development.
Also Steam Index.
Also different.
Still,
Index is
some team released Half-Life Alyx. That mean at least some developers used in that team.
The thing that kind of worries me, and it's also kind of weird, they do work on a follow-up on the Index, but the team of the VR team in Valve is basically non-existent. It's only a handful of people. After Alyx, they basically reduced it. I think they kept 1/5 of the team. The rest is doing any other shit. But the VR team in Valve is basically non-existent. So
if we're talking about teams in Valve, it was surfaced during Team Fortress 2 Crisis and whatnot. Valve have no fixed team. Well, team have a core, like 5 or 10 people who only work on that project, while other developers can jump from one project to another if they feel like it.
Yeah, I mean that's normally in a big company like that, but still, I kind of expected after Alex that they kept the team at least at the same size, and not be like, you know what, VR isn't the thing. And that's the problem. And then I heard they work on an index follower that doesn't fully make logical sense to me, because they on one side made a game only for VR from a series where millions of people want to play the next installment, so they basically pissed off the majority of the fan base of Half-Life with that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know what, let's move on. VR isn't a thing. So I'm not sure. I kind of expected that they will release another Half-Life Alyx add-on or something, or a follow-up to that or something like that. There's nothing about VR, as far as I know, coming from Valve. So I'm kind of surprised that they actually work on a new VR headset.
I guess it would be like with Counter-Strike 2. They will just release it.
If they're clever and if they do it right, the new headset will be based on the Steam Deck. The next VR headset from Valve must be mobile. If the next headset is station based and all that jank, they won't sell much, I think.
Well, they can make it stationary as original index, but make it cheaper.
That's not gonna happen. I mean,
that's the only way technology will go to masses.
Yeah, well, they did sell a shit ton of index, and for 1,100 euros, that's a lot. I mean, and I did try it at a friend's, and yeah, the quality, the haptics and material, that's all awesome. It also looks, the resolution is nice. It's cool the first time you move your fingers individually in VR and can really use your single fingers to push stuff. That's awesome the very first time. The control itself is, in my opinion, absolutely useless. Most games you use the controller as a pistol. I mean, that's the majority of games. You have shooters, you use pistols. The way that controller is made is you're holding it like this, like a hammer. So it goes straight into your hand. The Oculus controllers, since ever, have this form. So you hold a trigger, you know, or you hold a grip. And the index, well, you hold a sword. For sword fights, the index is awesome. Better than the Oculus. For anything shooting, I cannot hit shit with the index. I play the game. I mean, I don't really have to aim. You can do that in VR, but if it's good and the way you hold the Oculus pistol is like reality, I know that the barrel is going straight in that direction. You know, straight in that direction. Not there, not here. It goes straight out like my arm. So when I straighten out my arm and I hold my hand like I would hold a pistol, well, in the direction my arm aims, I hit. I might have to adapt a little bit, left, right, up, down, but the general direction is enough. With the index, I missed everything. It had to be in my face. I was like, no, No, those controllers are shit. They're just garbage. They're garbage. If you have games and apps where you can use your fingers, then it's awesome because you have a strap at the back and you basically just have a little bar in your hand here. That's it. But you can let go. That's awesome. But that's it. And from the headset on your face, I see too much of my surroundings. It's not blocking me out. And that's what I want and need in VR. I need VR in my face completely, closed completely. My Oculus doesn't have any piece of I don't see anything. I have to lift my Oculus away that I can see below. But if I put it on, I can turn off everything in my room. It doesn't matter. There is no light coming in. And that's the one thing that really annoyed me. And the headset is not on your ear. It's slightly next to your ear. So you can hear your surroundings better. Hey, I don't fucking care about my freaking surroundings when I'm in VR. I want to hear the game. Just the game. So yeah, that. I did not like that. So my Oculus, even though it's 6-7 years old and the resolution is, I think, half of the index, for me personally, it's still the better hardware. It's still better for me personally. I just like that more. So
well, let's not forget that Oculus developed by Carmack, and he might know a thing or two about shooters.
Well, he is part of the development team now. Originally, it was not developed by him. Carmack was, he saw it, and they made a Doom version to test with the original Rift back then. But Carmack had nothing to do with the Oculus. Absolutely nothing. He does now. He's now an employee of Meta, Facebook.
Yeah, and now Meta closed it. Well, closed Metaverse. I'm not sure about Oculus.
Well, Metaverse is still for businesses and stuff still a thing, I think. So
yeah, who knows?
For collaborations in office spaces and stuff, that's still a thing. And upcoming headsets from Meta will have face scanners, so you can basically have your face in VR on your avatar. So it's not like you just have those like the head is just like an egg with a bit of you have a mouth, a nose, and a few eyes, and just looks like a comic character.
Technology from Sword Art Online starting to appear in the real world.
Yeah, that's the thing they're working on, and I think that's still the future. I mean, in the future, more and more people will work remote or remotely. I will never work in an office with colleagues in my life again, but I might still have to go to a meeting or whatever. And in the future, you will not travel to meetings anymore. First, you cannot afford it. Second, the climate and everything. So more and more stuff will go into the area of Zoom and shit like that. But it's better to, well, actually sit next to somebody in a virtual world and have a virtual whiteboard where everybody's working on. It's much, much better and effective than just Zoom calls. I mean, Zoom call is good, but nothing can beat something like VR chat, for example. VR chat, to be together with people in the same room and working on the same things, like in a whiteboard or whatever, is only possible in that way. So I think they still work on that. It is still not, I mean, for the public maybe less, but they do so much stuff in the background. I think they still have the book and movie player one, in mind, and that is the future. I mean, maybe in 10 or 20 years from now, something like VR chat is just normal, you know? You
Yeah, I guess.
come home from whatever you were doing, or like the movie Surrogates, for example, with Bruce Willis, where you're at home and you basically control your avatar. And
Oh, I forgot that movie existed.
really a pretty good movie, actually. And
I kinda missed it.
yeah, watch it. It's pretty cool. So you basically stay at home. At home, you're safe. You don't have to worry. But yeah, you look like a hobo. And outside, perfectly clean and everything. And everything's nice. But yeah, you meet basically the cyborg, or the cyborg copy of the person controlling them. So if you meet a new person and you like them, yeah, you might like the avatar, but what about the other stuff? But yeah, I think the future will be, you come home, you have your VR headset right next to your door, or your AR headset, you put that on, and well, some people will use it more, some less, but something like the HoloLens or the eyeglass from Google, that will be a thing in the future. That information that we get around us will be either put into our view through contact lenses, which are working already. So there are contact lenses that basically have a chip and everything on it. So you have that, no matter where you look, you can have the time, the weather, whatever information you want to see all of the time. What we know from the HUD from Terminator, for example, is already working. I mean, it's not that comfortable yet because it is still a bit thicker, but they do have working contact lenses, including AR chip, that can...
If it won't go with dialogue options with "fuck you asshole,"
yeah,
I'm not interested.
Well, it does give you some information, and I think in the future we might, we had that a bit similar in a few movies maybe, but we might actually walk around and not see any advertising anywhere anymore, because we just see the advertising for us. So let's say you're standing at a bus stop and I look around, I would see, I don't know, Asus and Oculus adverts and Twitch advertising and whatnot. You're standing,
Yeah, great.
and you're standing next to me. You look at the same poster or advertising, and you see, I don't know, Adidas, AMD, I don't know, whatever is your interest. So I think that's gonna be the future.
The future would be that they will put pop-up windows that going to follow us.
Yeah, well, that's that's actually in the movie. What's the name of it? With Ryan Reynolds. He plays an NPC that becomes conscious.
I know what movie you're talking about. I don't remember the name.
That is awesome. That movie is awesome. There are so fucking many Easter eggs. You need to watch it at least twice to see half of them. It's hilarious. I liked it. I don't know how good it was with the critics, but I really, really liked it. He got a special pair of glasses or something, and then he sees the world as it is, and that's fucking awesome. So I personally, I cannot wait to have regular glasses like the eyeglass, where I have my information, so I don't need my phone or anything. I want to know, let's say, navigation. You just have a little tiny arrow in there that shows you where you have to go, or you look at a sign, for example, and it's in a foreign language, and it translates you right on screen, which works really insanely well if you have an Android phone.
Yeah.
Install Google Lens. Google Lens is one of the most epic apps I've ever installed.
It still have problem with Chinese language and Russian language.
Yeah, might be. Languages are difficult. But still, it gives me a chance to get the idea of a reply in the forum when it is in Russian or Chinese, whatever. And I could go to Russia and kinda get through the day using the metro or whatever. I could go through the country just with my phone as long as I have internet.
It also depends on which part of the country we're talking about. If we're talking about Moscow and St. Petersburg, there's a lot of signs in English from the get-go. And if we talk about some particular parts in Ural and Siberia, you'll have... you basically find Germans living here.
Okay. You know what's really insane? That I still don't understand that until today. Amsterdam is an international town. There is absolutely no German anywhere. I mean, if I buy a train ticket here in my town, I can choose, I think, at least 25 different fucking languages. So basically,
Russian is one of them, if I know correctly.
Yeah, basically every European country's language is represented here, and then some. In Amsterdam, I think I'm not sure. I think there wasn't even English in that ticket station. So we kinda did it wrong. In Amsterdam or in the Netherlands, you have your ticket, and then you have to go through one of those thingies, and you have to activate your ticket there. And when you leave the train station, you have to deactivate your ticket again, which we didn't know. Here in Germany, you buy your ticket, you go into the train or the bus, and inside you have a little thingy, and that stamps your card. So that's how it works here. And then you can just, depending on how many stripes you took, you can go so and so many zones. But yeah, there you have to go. Well, first you have to activate it, then you go inside, then you go outside, and you have to deactivate it. And we went to the train station, the main station. We couldn't get out of the station because our ticket wasn't activated when we started. So when we wanted to get out, we basically activated it. So some of those service people saw our struggle, and we were like, hey, what's going on? Ah, yeah, you forgot to do that. And he just took the ticket, put it on the other side where the people come inside. That opened our door to get out. Seriously, we were outside of the train station, me and my friend. We were like, what the fuck? How is that an international town? Seriously, what the fuck is going on? I mean, it's not like Germany is right next the next country if you go to the east. But okay, no, don't worry about Germans. No, don't support Germans. I mean,
yeah, not like you in one union or something like that.
But the cool
same economical zone. Not my problem.
Talking about the Netherlands. Hey, Fantasy. a friend of mine from the Netherlands just joins. But the cool thing is, at least close to the German border, basically everyone knows German. And it's so insane. We went there and we asked for directions, and that guy was like, with an accent, but in German, telling us, yeah, sorry, my German isn't that good, so I'm not sure if I can tell you the way. And we were 4 people in the car. Nobody knows Dutch. Nada. We were all looking at him like, dude, your German is totally fine. And then he was like, yeah, you just have to go there and the roundabout and da. We were speechless. Open mouth. We were like, your German isn't good? I mean, what? Yeah, so as a German in the Netherlands, it's no problem. You will definitely find somebody who knows German. And if you're from South Germany, like I am, you can actually get the idea out of text. So I could read a newspaper and could still tell you that was the topic or something like that. It's funny when friends like Fantasy and Baron are in voice chat and then they start talking Dutch, and I still kind of understand a little bit, and I can react to it. Yeah, it reads like Bavarian dialect. So we have similar words that are a bit close. I just read a term. They translated something from English into Dutch, and it sounds really naughty. They're pissing their asses off. Australian podcast. Okay, anyway. Hey, Fantasy, how are you doing? We're talking about Half-Life.
At least for half of the runtime, we talked about Half-Life.
Yeah, most of the time. Well, we still kind of steer around it. We kind of went off topic a little bit here. Let me see. Half-Life, the original Half-Life was released on OS X? Okay. I did not know. Yeah, well, Apple and games never really a thing.
Yeah, specifically after they turned to ARM and killed. First, they killed all of the library when they turn off support for 32-bit libraries, and then they killed it with ARM.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, Apple isn't its own computer anymore since they got rid of the RISC processors and went Intel. The only thing that Apple does different, they have a hardware dongle, so you cannot install Apple operating system on every PC easily, but that's the only difference. The rest, it's all PC hardware. But there's
also a thing that process that Intel process signal that Intel process regulating power grid with is shorted to the ground on Apple boards and power regulated by Apple chipset and not the processor.
Yeah, but I think I must have I have to look into it because they did release a new chip which is really powerful. So I'm not sure. I think they went back to RISC or something. I'm not sure if you did just
RISC. No, they turned to ARM.
ARM is it now? Okay. Yeah, but they just released a chip that is really, really, really powerful. So, but yeah, Apple isn't what it used to be. I mean, back around the millennium, that was they were the power horses of art divisions and audio and everything. The G4 back then was a freaking awesome computer. Super expensive for basically the same hardware, cost 3 or 4 times as much. But yeah, I was working in a company and supporting all those old school Apple systems, and yeah. But that was also the time when they basically said, why have our own hardware and everything? Nah, let's just take PC hardware. It's easier, cheaper. You know. Let's stay with the price. Let's make it still more expensive because there's an Apple on our products. Well, the thing that Apple always did better than a PC, which is kinda obvious since, well, Apple products are from Apple or need to be certified. Even in the 90s, no matter what, you put it on an Apple and it worked. Plug and Play Plug and Play worked on Apple. Always. I had, back in the 90s when I was working with Apple, it didn't matter. you went to the Apple over in that corner, took the keyboard, mouse, monitor, whatever, put it on attached it, restarting your Apple because you attached a new hardware? Not really. You just worked. PC back then, Windows, plug and play, yeah. Install those drivers from the disk, please. Oh, now we need a CD because some system file is missing. Oh, and you have to restart. Oh, and then please check if there's an update. Really? Plug and play? Took a while until Windows became really plug and play. And Apple had the Windows before Windows had Windows. Steve Jobs did a few things really, really well, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah, the problem is it wasn't Jobs, it was engineers that was around him.
Actually, yes and no. When it comes to what we look at now, that was a lot of Steve Jobs stuff because he came from creative and marketing. So typography, layout, desktop publishing and stuff.
Marketing. I'm not even going to disagree with that. He definitely was into that stuff.
Yeah, he was like, we don't just want to have one font. We want to give users choices and make it look better. So yeah. Windows had, I think, 2 or 3 base fonts. That was it. But yeah, that's the Apple Windows back then looked better than the first Windows versions. I mean, Windows took years. It took Windows years to really look good and not just mechanical and stuff. Apple, the macOS always looked better. It was the more beautiful operating system.
Yeah, and now Windows 11 copying
macOS.
macOS.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
I'm still insulted by that Windows logo in the middle of the screen.
From a usability point of view, absolutely a brain fart. Sorry, I'm not a studied UI or UX designer. I do have a DTP layout background. But in the West, we start on the left and go to the right. We don't start in the middle and then go to left, right. Huh? What?
Arabs also don't start in the middle and go to the left. They start from the right and go to the left.
Yeah, I mean, that you cannot change things like that are just, it's default in your brain. A menu in a program is always in the top left.
Every time when I'm getting to Windows 11, I'm clicking on some freaking icon on the lower left part of the screen. I don't remember what the fuck this shit is doing, but it's definitely not Windows. Not Windows logo.
You do know that you can change the taskbar, right?
I do remember that they turned off the ability to change it. I don't know if they returned it.
No, you can still change it. Right click on the taskbar, go to the options, and the first thing that I did, the start button from the middle where it belongs, because my boss in the bike store uses Windows 10 for a few years now, and the new laptop came with Windows 11. You think that I start explaining a 69-year-old guy that it's the same but in the middle now? Yeah, fuck that shit. I fix it so it looks exactly like they're used to it. That's the reason why basically every PC that I build looks the same since around 15 years or so. When I developed my own HT PC and the whole base around it. So from fans from Mac, some creators did this here. this toolbar here can normally be at the bottom and look exactly like macOS. You can make it look one by one like macOS. If I want to make my Windows look like an Apple, easy. Takes me 5 minutes. This here is originally from Apple people. That tool was developed for Windows 7, I think. Never was updated the last few years. I installed it on every PC. It's the best. I can go in standby here, turn my PC off, restart my PC. Is just one click. I don't have to click on start, click on something else, click on something else. No, it's one click, not 2 or 3. So yeah, I use that for every PC. So every time when a PC that I did, I can say, hey, third icon from the left is energy and stuff. So yeah, I love that. That's awesome. That's the best software and tool that I have. Rocket Dog, get it. It's the best. Seriously, it saves so much time and it's just that's how you do usability. Not with a taskbar that used to be in the bottom left for the last few decades, putting that in the middle. There's one thing that I like in Windows 11 when you get used to it. It's the right-click menu for files, for example. Because now...
They changed it?
oh, yeah, that got an overhaul. Didn't see that?
No.
Okay, so normally you have a really huge right-click where you have everything like open, copy, and all that shit. The most used stuff like all the shortcuts, Control X, C, V, so cut, copy, paste, is all in the top now. So you have icons.
Oh.
You have icons in the top. So you right click and then you have icons. You click that, bang, done. The moment you get used to that, it's awesome. I love it. It's a small but really awesome function. Something else they also did, which I as an admin really don't like. You basically have something like the original control panel from Windows pre-10. So everything is now again in one big package, but you have a navigation on the side, and finding settings now and options is even worse than it is in 10. Yeah. But the Windows...
thought that they couldn't make it worse than in 10.
Oh, yeah, they actually did. I searched something on that laptop. The laptop is the only Windows 11 PC that I have access to. I will not... Well, okay, my new PC will have Windows 11 because for the full DirectX 12 Ultimate functions, you need 11 for direct storage.
Okay.
So yeah, I sadly will go with 11, but you know, that PC will have so much power. It's the fastest Ryzen on the market that I will buy, so yeah, I think I'm gonna be fine. So I have to adapt anyway, eventually, so yeah.
So yeah, I guess we should go to Steam and from that go to Epic.
Yep, we can do that. So yeah, 20 years of Steam.
Well, oh yeah, 25 years of Half-Life, 20 years of Steam. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard, right? 5 years. We had Half-Life already, and they cooked up Steam basically in those 5 years until the release of Half-Life 2. Yeah, Steam is 20 years, and oh wait, I didn't check that. I think it's 6 years, but I'm not sure. What? Wikipedia 2018 was not 4 years ago. What the fuck? So it's 5 years, okay. How is the regular information on the site where the website and everything is located not updating. Huh? That doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, it says the initial release, but the years that should be done by the website code? I mean, that's... I don't know exactly the line, but that's like a short line of code in a website that just puts the date of today in it and counts what... that's 4 or 5 years. It's 5 years. I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, December 6th will be the 5-year anniversary of Epic Game Store. A beautiful store that we have there.
Yeah, beautiful store that for some miracle reasons not only didn't fly but losing money constantly.
Yeah. I mean, I think it didn't change yet, but 2 years ago, over or around 93% of all Epic users never paid a cent and never planned to do that. I'm one of them. I will never pay Epic anything. I love the engine, but their store is just absolute trash. The storefront is just... it's just garbage. I mean, explain me the reason or the point of a friend list if I cannot chat with them.
Yeah, I guess you have this friend list just to see that they exist.
I mean, I do have a few... I don't know why it shows me online in my own friend list. I don't see a Triton in Steam, but okay. Let's say I want to write Kenshi. Yeah, you can click the name. I can see his online. I can see his achievements. Achievements in Epic? Yeah, coming to that in a moment. It shows me where...
You ruined the experience for me.
Right. I can see how he's named on Steam, which thankfully is the same. I can block and remove him. That's it. I cannot write him. I cannot ask if he has time to play later.
And you
useless.
can't hop into the game with him, and you can't
Nothing.
invite him to the game.
There is zero functionality in it. Zero. That's the most useless friend list I've seen in my entire life. I mean, even in my phone, my contact list, I have a right-click menu and can do shit, write people and whatnot. Where's the reason for a friend? I don't get it. And then sometimes people add me and I don't see, who is that? And why the fuck do you know different names on Steam, Epic and all other platforms? Change your name to one. Fuck. Seriously, sometimes I have people
Also, talking about writing to random contacts, you have different options like write audio calls, video calls, and different means like WhatsApp, Telegram, and something like that.
Yeah. Here you have nothing. I mean, the minimum functionality that a friend list or a messenger would give you is communication with people. There's nothing. I cannot start a voice chat. There's literally nothing.
Something that Steam did years ago. As we talked about it like when it was released.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the point of a system that gives me a way of a community to communicate. It's kinda in the word community. Just saying. Oh, I'm actually kinda interested in Return to Moria, but since it's Epic exclusive, I'm eventually getting into Game Pass. Every game that gets Epic exclusive will not get full money from me. No. You decide to take their money first, then take their money and not my money.
God damn it! That Warhammer Fantasy Warhammer game look like that that Lord of the Ring game from from Sierra. Yeah,
What do you mean?
yeah, from
Moria or
Well,
Warhammer now?
I mean, that art looks like it was from that WB games when you playing as a ranger, tied with the spirit of some sort of an elf. And I'm talking solely about the poster when he was looking with that shit.
Shadow of War.
Yeah, Shadow series.
Mm.
I know that it's not supposed to look like it, but after you said Return to Moria, that's what my brain built connection to after I saw that art.
Ah, okay, okay. No, I thought you meant the Warhammer that was open in the background. Because you said
No,
Warhammer.
I actually was talking about Warhammer art.
Ah, okay. So you meant that art, but
Yeah.
okay, now I get it. Yeah, okay. The electric stuff here and the half face of the ghost thing. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, okay. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Wait, let me actually that makes it a bit easier. Shadow of War here. I'm not sure if that shows somewhere. Nah, it doesn't show. Doesn't show there. Sad. Ah, you can see it. You can see it up here in the corner. That's where you can see it. The arm is the ghostly character. Yeah. Maybe you can see it in here eventually. Anyway, but in Moria,
You get what I'm talking about.
yeah, Moria, I'm kind of interested because it's a base building survival game in a randomly generated cave. So.
Interesting.
And in the Lord of the Rings universe. So you're basically building your dwarven fortress, and it's all 3D, and well, you have to protect yourself from all those dudes, and stuff. So that's kind of interesting. Mirage.
Well, basically, it's promising to be something like RimWorld or Dwarf Fortress, ironically named Dwarf Fortress.
Pretty much, yeah. But in the Lord of Rings and in 3D. 90 euros? Oh, okay. The Master Assassin. Holy shit. 90 euros for a fucking game. This is insane. That's 180 in old school German currency. And
90 euros, Ubisoft can go fuck itself.
yeah, it's the deluxe. It's the complete package. So
it's deluxe Assassin's Creed game. It's not deluxe package. It's basically the full game package.
Yeah, well, there's the season pass and whatnot. The
base game already
base game is 50
from some of the base game already lacking some of the basic functions in the game.
Not that I know of. I played it. Mirage plays absolutely fine. It's I didn't play it that long because my Ubisoft Plus subscription ended. But what I played, it feels a lot like the first two games with the fights of the newer games. So at some point it goes back a little to the original, but it still stays, in my opinion, maybe a bit too far in the new area already. So some stuff is cool, some stuff is not so cool. I don't know, maybe I need to play it more. It is more stealthy now again. It's also again in one huge town, so it's not that open world bullshit where you're like, I don't know, not seeing anything for minutes while you're riding through the desert or some bullshit. Although Valhalla I really like Valhalla, but Valhalla for me is an action game. It's not a stealth game. You have stealth elements, but it's an action game. For me, it's a bit like Elden Ring without the high difficulty. Although
That's insulting to Elden Ring.
yeah, but it's an action game, you know. It's not
Okay, in the thing that it's an action game, okay, fine.
Assassin's Creed now is more like how do I say it? Well, you do have in Souls-like games, you do have stealth in it, but they're not stealth games. And in Assassin's Creed, that's used to be a stealth game, but no, you have way more action. So I didn't see Valhalla as a stealth Assassin's Creed game, and maybe that's why I enjoy it so much. It's a brutal action. It's an action game. You have stealth in it, but it's totally optional. Maybe you have a mission where you need it, but it's optional. The new one feels more classic, but it's not as good as I hoped for. And I didn't read the test yet, but it got 7 out of 10. And when that gets 7 out of 10 in that magazine, that gave 9 out of 10 for games that I don't really like Cyberpunk. Yeah, it's not as good as it could or should have been. So it's not the reboot that they were maybe hoping for. It does feel more classic though. So, and it looks great. But yeah.
Well, I don't think that they will return to the roots, but I digress.
Oh, they can't.
So back to Epic.
They can't fully, but the regular game costs $50, so that's totally fine, and you get everything you need to play. You don't need extra skins and all that shit. I had Valhalla in the big package. The weapons and the extras that you get. First, I didn't like how they looked, and I didn't want to transmog them. And the special that they gave me made it too easy for me, in my opinion. So I just don't use them. So the only thing
basically useless.
Yeah, the only thing that I really like, and that's also the reason why when I buy Valhalla, I will buy the deluxe, because there's a mount in it, and that mount is a wolf. I need that wolf as a mount. There is no question about that. That just fits in Valhalla so perfectly. Okay, anyway. Epic Games comes with achievements now.
Shocking. I'm not going to say that GOG added achievements when it was released, but
wait, GOG got
GOG
achievements?
added achievements a bit earlier than 5 years into its life cycle.
GOG got achievements. Yeah, no, I know that they have achievements. I know them at least from Galaxy. In Galaxy you see them, but on the store page or...
You can see them in store page in games that actually have them.
Yeah, but back before Galaxy, I didn't remember seeing one achievement in any GOG game. Now I know, because it shows you when you go into your game overview, it shows you on the side the achievements, yeah. If games have achievements, yeah.
Yeah.
But when GOG came out, I don't think there was one achievement.
Yeah, when it came out, there was 0 achievements.
Yeah, because...
It was basically just the marketplace you can buy your games and forum.
Well, Steam is basically... Or was no, actually... No, in GameSpy and stuff like that, I think you also had certain achievements for being a certain time on the page or something like that. But in games, yeah, that was basically consoles. Consoles started with that bullshit.
Yeah.
And now, I read something in the Game Pass, someone was like, I cannot get that and that achievement, my game score. What does game score even do? Nothing. You cannot get discounts with it. You cannot buy something with it. It's nothing. The higher your game score, you should maybe think about how people see you, because if I see somebody with 1 million game score, that person is not working. So they either have too much time. I don't know.
I have level 62 Steam profile.
Oh, I don't.
So what?
I don't even know what my profile level is. I don't care. The only thing that the level does is with a new level you get
87.
Yeah, five more friends to add to your list or so. The last 5 years, I think I added 6 people.
I've added 0 people, to be honest. I actually lost several.
With the
I didn't even notice it.
yeah, I might have lost a few as well. Yeah, that's yeah. I know that a few people haven't been on my list anymore. And I was like, what happened?
Yeah, and several people I was like, who the heck are you? Oh, you was that person. Why the heck are you changed your everything, avatar and name?
Yeah, change one thing and then the other, or tell people, hey, by the way, I'm changing my name. That's the reason why I put nicknames to those people I stay in contact with, because sometimes they switch and I'm like, who are you? Then I read the nickname, I'm like, that's you? Why the fuck? Seriously. It's even worse when people change their name 2 or 3 times in 4 or 5 years. Somebody wrote me on Discord and I was like, I think that's that person. I mean, I could read the chat, but when I write to somebody, I'm not saying, hey, Peter, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that person knows their name. So yeah, it took me a moment and then I was like, are you that person? Yeah, I am. Well, it didn't help that person started transitioning to become a female a few years ago. So there was that change back then there was a name change, then there was another name change, now there's another name change.
And then just one person.
One thing from this podcast convinced me to buy Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Right, and you did a bad thing.
I'm sorry. If you want to get Valhalla at the moment, well, obviously Black Friday sale, if you have enough points, you can get it as deluxe for 16 euros, I think. I wanted to get it on HRK, which is a key store.
I think base Valhalla
15.
accessible via Game Pass.
That's a good question, actually. I wanted to check that yesterday, actually. That's a good point. I wanted to check that because I only got Ubisoft Plus because it was €1. Then my cancellation didn't work and I had to pay 17 for the second month. That totally didn't piss me off.
Yeah, I ran out of Game Pass.
There's no Valhalla in Game Pass. You do have Assassin's Creed games. That's the thing. I mean, oh, is it? Oh, it isn't. Might be with Ultimate. I don't have Ultimate at the moment. I
used to have Ultimate because I saw several Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
I want to install one, but I was like 5 gigabytes short on my hard drive, so I said, fuck it.
Yeah, because that's what I thought, that I saw Assassin's Creed games in Xbox app. I do have EA Play at the moment. I can access that, but I just got Game Pass at the moment for Starfield. So, yeah. About Valhalla. Keep in mind, it is an action game. You have stealth in it, but it is an action game. Stereo, for example, he played it until around 60 hours, and then he got kind of pissed because he felt it felt too dragged. Well, yeah, it is a long game. It's not a short game. So if you're looking for a game that you can play for 50 plus hours, that's definitely a game for you. It looks freaking awesome. It's an absolutely beautiful game. It is super brutal. chopping off heads and everything. You expect Vikings, you get Vikings. And I play with a 2-meter female or something like that. And also my warriors, that the warrior that you can create one personal warrior. Yeah, it's a badass female with 2 axes. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's just not a stealth Assassin's Creed game. If you have that in mind, if you know that, if you don't expect a stealth game, then it's a really good game. So I'm definitely gonna buy it.
I just saw 2 things that I did not expect.
What?
Epic will release The Wolf Among Us 2 and Frostpunk 2.
Frostpunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean as timed exclusive, I think.
I mean, I did not expect that there will be a Frostpunk 2 at all.
No?
Specifically, I did not expect The Wolf Among Us 2.
Well, Frostpunk I kinda knew about. Didn't really care about where it's gonna be released or anything. But yeah, I knew about it. I mean, Frostpunk was a hit. So that was just a matter of time when they will release a second one.
I thought that they were going to release something different. Or in a different setting.
Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe. I mean, at this point, 11-bit Studios is also... Well, it's not that small anymore, so they're not just working on one thing, as far as I know. But yeah, that's the thing. But I think that's just timed exclusive.
Who cares? I'm going to skip Frostpunk 2. Oh, yeah, they released this War of Mine and Frostpunk. And they now releasing Frostpunk 2.
Coming 2014, but it doesn't say anything here, does it?
Just soon.
Coming soon. They don't even say when it comes, so yeah, here 2024, so I think it won't be exclusive. This War of Mine gets another one too? Okay, that I didn't know. Is there a second part coming?
No, as far as I know, no.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just meant...
This War of Mine was already too depressing as the base game.
Yeah.
After they released last add-on, it was way too depressing to continue.
Yeah, so talking about 11-bit studios getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, The Invincible is a game that I really want to get. I played a demo of that. That's freaking awesome. So yeah, they grew a little bit. So yeah.
So yeah, anyway. Some people see that Epic losing this battle against Steam, battle against Steam as bad thing.
Well, the thing is, if you want to call it a battle, you would need 2 contenders that are kinda on the same level. Which...
Epic is kinda on the same level when it comes to money-wise.
That's the only thing. They might even beat Steam when it comes to money.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the only thing. They only have money. So they basically get into a fight with the best suit, the best weapons, the most epic technology. Yeah, and Valve comes in with a club. Oh no, it comes in with a dagger.
Valve doesn't come at all.
Yeah, or that. No, but
was sitting in the ground looking how Epic failing.
No, but Epic is the knight in shining armor, and Valve is the thief coming from behind with a dagger, putting it right in between the plates where the knight is not safe. So
Yeah.
kinda. So yeah, I mean, 20 years of experience when it comes to building up a community to what
Building
we have.
up the community, providing them with
Everything.
best product, and basically already having this transition period when you must have Steam to install some games like original, well, Deus Ex 2013, I think it was, Front Mission Evolved, and some other games. Well, basically last years when discs was a thing before they became solely for collectible purpose.
And the funny thing is that Microsoft, if they would have done it right, they could have become Steam, or what Steam is today. They kinda managed to do that, but only for the Xbox.
Yeah, well, Xbox is their control environment, so it's not like it's a big of a shock. When it comes to Game Pass, well, I think that lack of regional pricing or unfair regional pricing, what Microsoft is doing, is complete bollocks, and that's the only saving grace is Game Pass.
Yeah. No, I mean, I
But,
meant it. I meant it. They had games for Windows Live as
Yeah.
a service that was also kind of based on what the Xbox already created. So
Yeah, and then we had Steam salvaging Microsoft trash when they closed games for Windows and restoring online functionality and achievements in several games on Steam.
but now the funny thing is, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago or so, you could get the Xbox app on PC, and they managed in a much shorter time to make the Xbox app so much better than the Epic Game Store. It's not even.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's not even funny. I mean, okay, they do have the base of four Xbox generations now they can use. So they have all the chatting systems, all that bullshit, the achievements and whatnot.
Well, it's not like the original Xbox had achievements and the digital storefront. That's already from 360 era.
The original Xbox had a marketplace, sure.
I think not.
Yes.
It was
it
disk
had
based.
it had the same every Xbox already started with that menu where you could swipe to the different tabs and everything. What we see today on the Xbox is, well, okay, we don't have that swipey thing anymore. That's gone since the Xbox One. So now we just have one huge endless list, basically, and certain different areas that you can choose and stuff. So it's basically, this is basically the same what we have on the Xbox. This is it is similar. The thing that Microsoft does so much better, besides having the experience from the console, they seem to listen more to their community. Every single game got reviews. You want to write a review? Well, go there, write a review. The only thing that I didn't find out yet in here, how to edit my review that I posted, because
I don't have a function to edit my review in GOG. So for us, it's basically restricted.
Yeah, okay.
But I can change my review in Microsoft Store.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure if that would work in the Microsoft Store, but what's really bad in the reviews here, this game came out a few weeks ago, but a lot of reviews review the game on release day, and Xbox Game Pass releases tend to have some issues sometimes. For example, Jusant had DLSS support on Steam, not on Game Pass. So that's the one thing where I don't know how to change my my review. But you can upvote a review, you can report a review, although there's no function to post something that I want to write there, or choose wrong advertising or wrong review or whatever, or day one review not actual anymore, or whatever. That's a bit of
You
a
can't even comment on a review like in Steam, and in Steam it used to be default that you can comment on somebody's recommendation, but now you must check the mark that you want to see comments.
yeah, it got
I
too.
always check mine.
I mean, depending on the game, you will get shit comments down there and
I
discussions.
don't care. If I think that thing is shit, I'm going to tell that the thing is shit, even if it would be a week after release.
Yeah, no, but I mean, this way they prevent negative shit shows in reviews.
Yeah, okay, fair.
So you can, in Steam, even in a good game, you can have fights in the comment sections and shit down there, and insults and whatnot. I've seen the worst reviews, the comment sections. When you have comment sections with several pages, you already know that's not okay. Otherwise, you have one or two comments that maybe say, hey, you have to play the game again because it was patched or so. That's something that I do sometimes if I see a negative review and I know why it is negative and I played the game and didn't have the issues. I do post, hey, you might want to revisit the game because what you have in that review is not right anymore. Some people actually do that and then they change it from not recommended to recommended because, like here, a lot of people had issues, like I said, DLSS or some other stuff, all fixed and patched. I had not any issue in that game the whole time I played it. And so yeah, that's a bit bad. But you can post reviews. And another really good thing, and that's the only platform, seriously, the only platform on every device that has this here. And this is just one of the most epic functions for me personally. And I also think for people who have full-time jobs and families and, you know, they're not kids anymore, so they have to plan their life around it. So I can know exactly I play this game, in my case, for 10 hours. Because, well, I stand there, I look around and stuff. But you can know how long a game will eventually take you to finish. 4 hours is absolutely impossible. There is no way on this planet that anyone who touches this game the first time finishes in 4 hours. Impossible. Anyway, but that's awesome. I love that function. You do have that in some way in Steam when you see the reviews and the time when they did the reviews. That gives you a kind of a indication how long the game will be.
Yeah, you see recent playtime, all-time playtime, and when the review was posted.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to recent playtime, it was as far as I know, it was a fresh addition to the game because, well, to recommendations. I do remember that it was like this review was posted after that amount hours of gameplay.
Yeah, it was playtime at time of the review and total playtime.
And now it's recent playtime and total playtime.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely new. Nah, it still says last 2 weeks and on record.
Yeah, last 2 weeks, that's specifically recent, and not how many times you spend before writing it.
Okay, right, that's weird. Okay, so this one says just on record, but not how many times at the time of writing the review. This here says the last 2 weeks on record and at review time. So he did.
Steam recommendations are strange, basically.
Okay, so how does that make sense? Did he write the review before playing the game then?
You mean 0 hours?
No, it doesn't show any playtime at review writing. So here it says 9.3 hours on record, but no playtime, nothing, no information about the review. The second one here, my other buddy, it says right here 0 the last 2 weeks, hours on record, and 9.7 at review time. But yeah, the last 2 weeks, that's new. That's true. I didn't realize that's new, actually.
That's more than confusing.
Yeah, it makes that doesn't make any sense. And here's the same. On record, last 2 weeks, but not any playtime at review time, which should be 0.1. Hopefully it's worth the 0 that I spent on it. I sent a friend a game yesterday, and he was also like, yeah, I wasn't sure if I should pay for that. And I was like, yeah, well, it's not getting any cheaper now. I mean, now it's for free. It should be fine. I mean, so yeah. In case anybody wonders, on Fanatical, this game is free. It's also on sale, but it's also not worth more than $250. So it's fun, it's cool. You play it for 2 hours, then you touch it. Never touch it again. I have 0.7 hours in the game. I've seen everything. It's fun. I got it for free, so it's okay.
So anyway, when it comes to recommendations on Epic, you don't see recommendations. You see reviews.
Wait a second. I mean, something that I don't understand. Wait, I have to go to a different game that's already released. Something I don't understand and never will. Where does that come from? Where does that come from? Explain to me where is this coming from? Who writes those player ratings?
Give me a second. I'm going to
Captured from players in the Epic Games ecosystem.
Can you pick different game from The Witcher, because I won't see The Witcher on the Epic Game Store. Pick Remnant 2, for example.
Well, I can just pick Deliver's Mars. That's free at the moment. You should see that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so where...
Deliver us.
Okay, in that case, okay, you have magazines. Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Game Informer, IGN. Okay, those are the official reviews. Reviews provided by OpenCritic. Okay. But the thing is, where does that star review come from?
It's from critics.
Well,
it's not from the users.
See all reviews. Yeah, they just integrate OpenCritic, that's all. Wow! They don't even have their own... Okay. So the thing is, on Steam, you have the Steam reviews, and on the store page, you do see the critics down there, which is unrelated to Steam. Metacritic score is what you see. Not OpenCritics, Metacritics. But it would be so easy in 2023 to use the back button on the mouse, which exists since 20 plus years, to fucking go back into your stupid bullshit launcher, you piece of shit. Sorry. In every launcher and platform, as I remember, you can go back even in Xbox app, they added it. So, anyway. Yeah, here, I want to see that. Do they have that somewhere in the forum nobody knows of? Or is there a forum on the Epic store or Epic website or something? Because that apparently is captured from players in the Epic Games ecosystem. Whatever that means.
I don't know. I think they just captured a bunch of players and asked them really nicely with holding a baseball bat next to their head what they think about this game.
It's kind of cool that the critics, only 64% of critics recommend Cyberpunk. Oh, Cyberpunk. We might
Phantom Liberty. Specifically Phantom Liberty.
We might have to do another fucking stream about that garbage game.
God, what happened?
um,
We talked about it not so long ago.
Yeah. Cyberprank releases something new soon. Oh yeah, besides the fact that it's $29.99 at the moment. Bastards. And the DLC is not on sale. Bastards. Let me just show you one thing here. Oh, I'm not banned anymore. Oh, cool, I can post again. I was banned the second time. Cyberpunk is the only game I don't own on Steam where I've been banned twice. I'm not counting shitty developers like Digital Homicide and bullshit. You get banned once for all of their shit. But here I was banned the second time. In this case, I was banned for posting FU CDPR. The other stuff that was removed, but also the discussion that I had with somebody. Okay, so, and it also proved that the majority of people on Steam is either brain dead or cannot read or have some kind of other mental issue that I don't know.
We're talking about people who stuck with Cyberpunk and don't see any troubles with it.
Doesn't matter, Cyberpunk or any other game. That text, there are like 4 paragraphs. It's not like you're reading for 10 minutes or so. So basically any question anyone could have is answered there. People still asked about it. Yeah, and then they wonder when somebody comes around like me saying that game is still shit and the 2.0 changes the game so much that it is not the game that I paid for and my playstyle is basically impossible with 2.0. Yeah, then don't update. Yeah, but maybe if I eventually get the add-on for €1, I have to update. So, and I cannot play the update. I have to play several hours of the base game to even get to there. So that means I have to restart the game from scratch. Yes. So for me personally,
and that's the point. People will still saying like, just don't update and play the legacy version.
Yeah.
But that's literally impossible if you want to play Phantom Liberty.
That's the thing. And I mean, I get it. I get it for those who don't have it yet. But let's be honest. Who didn't buy it yet will not buy it. I mean, if you didn't buy it in the last 3 years, I don't think that there's a point to buy it now.
Yeah, we had at least 3 major points.
Yeah.
Release, Christmas sale of the same year, anime.
Yeah, exactly. And 3 years for an add-on. Yeah, well. Okay, so on December 5th, there will be an Ultimate Edition.
Ultimate Edition? What? They're already making tie-in...
Wait for it. It gets better. Okay, so digitally all around the world and physically in selected markets. People were already asking, oh, where do I get the box? Dude, seriously? There will not be any box where you live. There will be maybe in Macy's and in the biggest stores on the planet, you will have 10 boxes. People will fight over those 10 boxes, pay more to get it or whatever. Forget it. Okay.
Basically, NES Mini all over again.
Yeah. In the Ultimate Edition, and now, careful. In the Ultimate Edition, experience the original Cyberpunk 2077 story as well as a new spy thriller adventure. And now that's the one thing where I actually understand why people have questions. A new spy thriller adventure in the Liberty expansion. I mean, I know that the Liberty expansion is a spy thriller, but the way they phrase it like you get new story content for the DLC. That's exactly how that reads.
Yeah, I get what you're talking
A
about.
new spy thriller adventure in the Phantom Liberty expansion means you get a new story in the expansion. If they want to tell us that the expansion is a new thriller, they would have to say a new spy thriller
Liberty is a new thriller.
adventure, which is the Liberty expansion, basically. Or different. The way they say it sounds like there will be more to it. So people ask, hey, if I already have the expansion, do I get anything more out of that? They even think about buying the Ultimate version if they already have the expansion. People are stupid. Seriously. They have too much money. Anyway. The release contains the base game, including the free update 2.0. I think that's the first company ever that promotes a free patch as something special in a bundle. It's a fucking patch. You just fixed your fucking game. Okay.
Still didn't fix, but now it's less broken and it's completely different game from whatever you saw before that point.
I had some discussions with one person. He is actually on my friend list now. I already told him I'm not sure if I'm gonna kick him, but he reacted cool in my comments. But he was basically like, you didn't play the right game, blah, 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 blah. After I was banned, a lot of people were like, oh, so it just released after early access now? That's cool. Another one was like, oh, Todd Howard is the new CEO of CDPR. I laughed my ass off. That was a great one. And let's say 70% of the people were like, are you fucking serious? You released that garbage after 3 years and call it now Ultimate? What the fuck? Fix your shit. And some other people were also like, where exactly are our free add-ons that you said when we bought the pre-order? It's cosmetics, you morons. Those are the free stuff, like the free 16 DLCs for The Witcher. Anyway, including the free update which overhauled many of the game's systems, such as dynamic skill trees, vehicle combat and enhanced enemy and police AI, and added various new weapons, vehicles and clothes, as well as all free DLCs and the Phantom Liberty expansion. So you get a complete...
We talked about car combat and I didn't change my mind. I dropped Cyberpunk 2.0. I had no intention to continue. I have no intention to continue it. I'm not even interested in playing till I get to Phantom Liberty. Why it is similar to Robocop Rogue City? Robocop Rogue City is great.
What do you mean now?
It was on the page for the game.
Oh, yeah.
In similar game terms.
Yeah. Which doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, well, yeah, it's a shooter. It does have RPG elements, but it's not even a 10th of the playtime. RoboCop has 10 to 20 hours.
I finished in 15.
So yeah, I still didn't finish. I will continue with it, but I played so many good games lately. This month is insane. Okay, they don't have been released all just in this month, but this year, the games that I played this year have been so good. I've played so many good games this year. It's crazy. I have a hard time with the freaking Steam Awards because I have so many good games that fit in so many categories that I chose the game of the year. I switched it after I saw your choice because, to be honest, that is the best choice. When you see the full package, the complete package, you have to put RoboCop as the game of the year. It is just the game of the year. It might not be perfect. It's not the best shooter and everything, but this is...
Compared to AAA shooters that came out, it's the best shooter.
Definitely. This and this is okay. There have been some movie license games, but I think RoboCop is by far the most true to the original movie license game ever made. You don't play the movie, so that's already a plus, but it is so accurate and so close to the original. It is insane. If you watch the first movie and you play the game, you recognize a shit ton of areas. It's insane. And you
game basically placed between RoboCop 2 and between RoboCop 3.
Yeah. Oh my god, I saw a trailer of 3. I will never watch that movie. Oh my god. He's flying. You saw the third? I think I forgot about it. Either I forgot about it or I never watched it. I don't know. He's flying. I mean, besides the fact that that effect looks super shit. I mean, I could do better green screen effects now, but
even back there, I thought that it was shit.
Right? It looked really garbage. You saw it. It was just movie over movie, and people were like, "Oh, he's flying over." No, he's flying over there. Looking. Forget it. So shit. Oh my god.
Also, different color coding.
Yeah. And I think that was the sequence where he was flying over a highway or something. The police chief was still there. That was an actor that I recognized. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch that movie. Holy shit. Oh, and I read something. They announced it like 6-7 years ago. RoboCop returns. There will be a new RoboCop movie.
After I saw what they did with the remake, I'm not sure that I want to see a new RoboCop movie.
It will be a sequel to the very first, and everything afterward, it doesn't exist anymore.
Terminator 2, Terminator 6. We already ride this road.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do with RoboCop. They want to get rid of the TV show, the shitty third movie, and all that bullshit. No, it's gonna pick up after the first movie.
I mean,
it rebooted.
That road that Terminator walked, not a good one.
Yeah, well, but now it's basically Terminator 1, 2, 3 done. The others don't count anymore. Well, it is not called. Is it called 3? No, it was called Dark Tides.
Dark Tides destroy all. Yeah.
That's the last one. All the ones in between you can basically just take and throw it in the trash can.
Well, you can also throw this movie in the trash can as well, because they have to remake the universe again.
Well, nah, they we will see how it goes.
He did the same thing with Terminator 5.
The last Terminator is the last Terminator. There is no other Terminator. It is a trilogy. Anything else doesn't count. That's how it goes. Oops.
I have no hopes for that, basically.
Me neither, really. But well, we will see. If Peter Weller is okay with the usage of his voice for AI voice, that would be one point that would be important. And
he voiced himself in Rogue City.
Yeah, I know that. But the movie is not coming anytime soon, so not sure if he wants to be in another RoboCop movie. It's really a surprise that they managed to get him for the game. But yeah, he's what is he, like 70 plus something, going on 80? I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
at some point you have to realize that the voice is 50 years older. He sounds different now than he sounded in RoboCop 1. I know because I saw it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it can also...
Looking at time,
Yeah, the time. Yeah, I know.
looking at time, I think we can just go through our nominations because in December those nominations will be gone forever.
Yeah. Boing. The nominations end in 3 days. Okay. All right. Let me go through my list here.
Yeah, I'm going to open mine, or you will open mine.
Yeah, I can open yours in a moment. So Game of the Year award, we already talked about it. I had my time at Sandrock in it. But it is based on Porsche and stuff, and RoboCop it's just epic. VR game, I didn't play that many. Propagation was pretty fun, the bit that I played of it, and since I have no other choices, and you can nominate VR mods now, which is kind of new.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I read that in a mod that you can actually use that, at least in VR, since there are not that many releases, and mods can be full game basically. Deep Rock Galactic doesn't have its own VR version, but in VR it looks freaking insane. Okay, Labor of Love. I also had other games there first, and then I remembered, wait a second, I just played Broforce again, which got a new free content update after, 10 years or so? So that had to be Broforce. Steam Deck, I don't give a fuck, I don't know about it, and the cool thing is you can skip it. Yeah. And you still...
I put a game in Steam Deck category just to put something in it.
I had the same, and then I read about it down here. You can skip categories where you don't feel that you have enough data to confidently nominate a game. As long as you specifically click the button to skip a category, it will count toward your badge. Read the manual sometimes. I read it.
Well, it's already too late for me to change it. Oh, no, I can.
You can still change it until
Okay, I kept it as well.
3 days ago. Better with Friends Award. I played over 16 hours on one day in our event with Karma Zoo. That game is one of the most fun co-op platformer that I've played in my life. Hilarious, awesome, beautiful game. Outstanding visual style, Gisant. RoboCop is awesome and all, but Gisant has its own look. It is low poly, but it screams and oozes out details in every corner. It's an Unreal 5 game, and you can see that. It looks freaking epic. Most innovative gameplay, also Karma Zoo, because I don't know one game where you actually need to play together or you will die in that game. It's you have a bubble around you, and if you go solo, you will not be able to finish the level. You have to stick to at least one person, and even better if you stick together with all the persons. This was never done like that before. It's freaking awesome. 10 people that work together on one goal, and the better you work together, the more points everybody gets at the end. Awesome. Best game you suck at? Sorry, I don't suck at games. I don't really suck at...
Play
Armored Core?
Yes.
I don't have it, so I'm so not interested in that game. You have no idea how not interested I'm in that game. It looks cool and everything, but really, I couldn't give less of a fuck for that game. I might eventually get it in a bundle or something, but it doesn't appeal to me. The fights don't appeal
No,
to
I
me.
get it. That's a game definitely pretty niche, but it's so niche that it's basically as popular as Dark Souls 3.
Oh yeah, I know, and I might get it eventually, but since I really have no interest in it.
Trust me, this game is brutal. It's so brutal that I'm not comfortable recommending it.
I know a lot of people hate it because the boss fights are.
I love it, but I'm not going to recommend it.
Yeah, I know. That's basically what a lot of people say when I read it. They were like, "Hey, that's yeah. If you're masochist, and if you want to punish yourself, yeah, get that game. You have the best time of your life." So yeah, but yeah, best game you suck at. I really had to think hard about it, but I didn't play any game this year where I've been bad in. So I'm not the best player, but there isn't really a game where I suck at. I mean, I play Elden Ring naked. How bad can I be? So, nah, so I chose RoboQuest because it was it was finally released also in November, and they deleted all the content, so you had to start again. The difficulty is a bit different, but you have the option, depending on the save that you still have, to get your wrenches back. I played new because why should I upgrade my whole base if I... Anyway, it's a hard game. It's the hardest game that I played lately, so I chose that. Best soundtrack, since I barely know soundtracks of games, and I also played this lately, the soundtrack is pretty awesome in it, and it got new songs with the release. Outstanding story-rich game award. I didn't play many games where I could really say that story is awesome. This I only played a little bit when there was a demo, so I have no idea. I do know that this is basically a walking simulator with a shit ton of story around it. Sit back and relax reward. I had Jusant in here, but since I switched Robocop as game of the year, I took Sandrock as sit back and relax. So yeah, those are my choices, and you sent me your link somewhere.
I'm going to send it again. I hope.
No, I have it already.
Ah.
So yeah, Lotus choices. Game of the year award, same. VR. Lotus doesn't have VR. Labor of Love. Elden Ring. What did they get this year? Did they get new stuff?
They didn't get new stuff, but it got a lot more patches, and we got a promise of a new DLC that's going to be released for Elden Ring.
Oh, and oh yeah, right. They did open those arenas for...
Yeah, those as well.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's true. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, Steam Deck. Yeah, we just mentioned it. So skip.
Yeah, virtual reality I also skipped. I put the game with plain at first because I felt that it's cool with plain, but
explain VR or something like that. I was like, huh? What is that game? Okay.
I'm just thinking that controlling plain is cool.
Sunhaven?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's basically Stardew Valley, but with better story and with much more diverse content. So more biomes, more story, more enemies, more intrigued crafting than in also seasonal bosses. And it have co-op.
Okay, looks cool.
Oh, it also updated regularly. They not long ago added three new characters that can be romanced.
Okay, cool. I just see a function that is missing in Steam. If you hover over a game in your activity, you have a little arrow where you can put a game on your wish list. I cannot put that game on the wish list without clicking on it. That's stupid.
Still better than Epic.
Yeah, true, definitely. Okay, outstanding visual style award. Warhammer Boltgun does look really, really nice. It definitely does have a really awesome style. I give you that. Good choice.
Yeah. And but it's basically a bit of a cheating because it's Warhammer aesthetic. Yes, pixel artist did a great job, but it's still Warhammer aesthetic.
Yeah, true, but in a colorful way, not really in a dark and gritty way like we normally know Warhammer games. And
Well, dark and gritty is mostly for the atmosphere. Warhammer games are usually not that dark and gritty.
tell that to Dark Tide.
Fair.
But it's cool that you directly know. Boltgun is on my wish list actually, and
Also, hired gun pretty bland as well when it comes to colors.
but yeah, Boltgun is on my wish list. I do like that style. It's a bit like Duke Nukem 3D on steroids in the Warhammer universe.
Yeah, you also have a taunt button.
Yeah, okay. Okay, most innovative gameplay award. Yeah, that's not a surprise in your case with Armored Core.
Well, for me it was most fresh that I played during the whole year. So
yeah, it is definitely different. I mean, the fact that you have the aerial and ground-based fighting,
aerial, ground-based, and also 4 types of weapon at once you can have.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's definitely an innovation to any Armored Core game before.
It's basically an innovation to their usual Souls-like because it's.
Yeah, that's also true. But since it is since it's a From Software game already, so
Yeah, it's balls breaking hard.
yeah, that's why it's the game you suck at.
explained.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I mean, I could choose that as well. I know that it's one of the hardest games at the moment, and but I think best game you suck at might win Lords of the Fallen, for example.
Nah, Lords of the Fallen used to be shit, and when it was re-released now, it's going to be gone.
You have to keep in mind the majority of Steam users. The majority of Steam users will not have played RoboCop, will not have played Sunhaven. The majority of people will have played Starfield. Starfield will definitely. I almost want to bet on it that Game of the Year will be Starfield.
I'm going to bet that we'll see Starfield and Phantom Liberty in Game of the Year.
Cyberpunk cannot be Game of the Year. That's over.
Trust me, Phantom Liberty will be there.
No, it cannot be. It is not a game. It is an add-on. That thankfully is impossible. Game of the Year needs to. The thing is, if they would release the Ultimate Edition, yes, that would be different. Because that could be called a Game of the Year edition because it's including all released updates, DLCs, and the expansion. That would be different.
Okay, fair.
But it is not standalone. If Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla would have been Game of the Year award, and Ragnarok would have been nominated, that would have worked because Ragnarok is a. No, wait, actually, no, you need the base game for it. Also wrong. Okay, no. Add-ons cannot be Game of the Year. It's
okay, fair.
Thankfully.
So
it could have been dangerous if CD Projekt would have released it not on December 5th, but now. Then eventually that might have worked out because it's an ultimate version and stuff, but so yeah.
Okay.
That's my guess. My guess will be Starfield Game of the Year. VR game, I have absolutely no idea. Labor of Love, Cyberpunk. Best game on Steam Deck, no idea. Better with Friends, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
I'd say that Labor of Love, because it's Steam, will see Counter-Strike.
Yeah, could be, but Counter-Strike 2 is new. So that's not... What I'm really pissed about, and that makes absolutely really no sense, you can put basically every game in there. I cannot choose Terraria. The number one game of Labor of Love on the planet is Terraria, followed by No Man's Sky. Those two games are by far the most and longest and best supported games that I remember. Terraria gets constant updates. They still work on the next expansion, which comes next year, even though 2 years ago they released their last expansion. So it's freaking insane. So yeah, that's... Well, we will see. But yeah, Battle with Friends, I think, will be something like Modern Warfare or some bullshit like that. Visual style...
Well, visual style is hard.
Yeah, because, well, you have so many different styles these days. Yeah, visual style is really... That will be a hard one. There are too many. There are really too many choices. You have pixel art, which looks good, like Bolt Gun. You have RoboCop, which is realistic, looks good. So I don't know. Most innovative gameplay, that could actually be ending up with Armored Core, or maybe something like Karma Zoo, where you really have some new gameplay elements.
Well, we'll see in nominates.
Best game you suck at? Yeah, like I said, it depends on which of the games sold more. Lords of the Fallen, people were waiting for that.
Armored Core sold more copies, that for sure.
Yeah. That's kind of surprising, actually. That kind of surprises me, actually. Because Armored Core wasn't really a thing on PC. So, and Lords of the Fallen is the remaster of a game that came out a few years ago. So
that's the problem, that we already played Lords of the Fallen, and Lords of the Fallen is shit.
Yeah, but they wanted to make it better. They didn't really, because I do know a Souls-like player who played it, and he's not the biggest fan of it. So yeah, best game you suck at. What other hard games came out this year? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, might actually be that.
Yeah, I'm looking at SteamDB, and statistics for Lords of the Fallen, it's basically died the day it was released.
Okay. Yeah, the reviews are not too good, so... Okay. That's bad. Best Soundtrack Award. RoboCop doesn't have enough music in it.
It have a good enough selection of music. It also have the original theme song.
Yeah, true. And I like that in the menu. It's freaking awesome. But there could be more while you're playing it, you know? A lot of people in the forum also kind of complained that there should be more like action music while you're fighting and stuff. But
hell no. It would make it just more generic.
Yeah, maybe.
And besides, you have some fainted soundtrack when you in high action scenes.
Yeah, true.
RoboCop is not insulting you with the music, and it's using it just fine.
Yeah, I mean, with RoboCop, you definitely can feel that that's a game from fans and really those who love the original franchise, for fans. This is sure they want to make money, but they could have done a different game if they would have just gone just for the money. I mean, they did a few things that are kind of shit because it's based on the RoboCop 2 suit, and that wasn't silver. That was with that flip-flop, silverish, purplish, blue look, and that's an extra paid DLC. That's a shit move. That's really a shit move, and I do understand that people are pissed about that.
I'm pissed about that as well because version that I bought came with damaged suit.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a thing that is not really cool. So.
Oh well.
But okay, you get an Unreal 5 game for $50 and not 70. Original license, all the actors of the original movies included. Most of them voiced themselves, not everybody, but most of them. And yeah, if you know the movie, you just walk through the freaking police station. I mean, I've been in the police station for over an hour in the demo. Just walking around.
When I got to CPO shifts, I was like...
Right? I mean, there's stuff in it. It's awesome. And, I mean, some people in the forum, that doesn't make any sense. Floppy disks and CDs and...
Fuck off.
Yeah, it's an alternate reality, you moron. So... And in the 80s and 90s, we had still the floppy disks, the hard case disks, and CD-ROMs. I know it. I've been there, you morons. So, yeah, it's always funny. It's not like the disks were gone from day one and everybody adapted to CD. No. After the millennium, I still supported DOS computer that were running on. They had databases on disks. I had to buy new 3.5 inch disks. Trust me, today I think you cannot buy any disk anymore, and there are still companies needing them.
Yeah,
I have a box
true.
somewhere with red translucent, so transparent discs. They look like next level quality, and I have a box with 100 or so of them. I think in a few years I might sell them the piece for 100. If I would have VHS tapes. If you have good movies, good VHS tapes still in foil, you can sell them for 10 to 20,000 a piece. VHS tape. The movie is gone for years already. I saw a video, somebody was like, okay, he's an actor, he has money, and he was like, yeah, like 10 years ago, I bought 5,000 new VHS tapes. And the moderator was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And now, I can sell them for 10,000 plus. What? Yeah, you do the math. 5,000 tapes, a minimum of 10,000 each. You never have to work in your life. I mean, you can sell one tape a day and throw the money away. 5,000. Okay, anyway. Lothar, it's really late for you.
Yeah, you still have two categories.
Oh yeah, okay. Story-rich game. Long Days Gone. I read about that. Did you play that?
It's a green light game. It was released in early access very long time ago, and the full-time release was only this year.
That's where I know that name from. Greenlight. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna click on that because it doesn't show me anything. Okay. Yeah, like I said, story-wise, I did play some games this year, but I'm not sure how many people know about that game.
Well, it already was a niche game, and I kinda skipped the early access and I still need to buy it. I know what they were going for because I was subscribed to newsletters and updates about this game. I have a slight understanding what's going on, so I'm just giving them my vote because of their long support and development. Because I hope that it's good as it was described.
Okay, I'm gonna put it on my wishlist anyway. I mean, it looks really good.
And it's RPG Maker.
That's RPG Maker? Wow. Now I'm definitely interested. There's only one game that I know that doesn't look like RPG Maker. Only one game. This is the only game that I know that is RPG Maker and doesn't look one single bit like RPG Maker. I need a 2D point here. This doesn't give me any RPG Maker vibes at all. In the fights, yeah, slightly. But it looks like a freaking 2D platformer and nothing like RPG Maker. This is freaking epic. Making this out of RPG Maker is holy shit next level. Wow. I'm seriously impressed. Because that needs a ton of knowledge of that engine. We're not talking about a 3D engine, it's a 2D engine. It's freaking that's very impressive. Yeah, okay. Okay, sit back and relax. We had that before. Well, it kind of makes sense. It's a bit like Sandrock and Stardew Valley, so yeah, kind of makes sense.
You're just doing your stuff and in parallel watching some stories unfold in front of you.
So what do you think is the game of the year of the plebs on Steam?
I'm going to say that we'll see Starfield for sure.
Right?
I think we might see Call of Duty in this vote no matter what. Despite it's being shit.
Well, I did not play it yet.
Well, people
already Call of Duty. Oh, Call of Duty. Yeah,
shit.
no. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, Call of Duty. Yeah, that might be. Yeah. But Call of Duty might end up in Better with Friends, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Well, by some miracle, we might see Armored Core in it, but I don't believe it.
What, in Better with Friends?
No, in
Game of the Year? No, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
Although,
by some of the miracle, but I'm not think that it's going to happen.
I mean, Elden Ring was Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So, being a really hard game doesn't mean shit. And it's the Steam users who decided. I mean, 50,000 people bought it.
And Elden Ring won Game of the Year not only on Steam, but everywhere.
Yeah, well,
most of the things.
If you look at it as a complete package, yes, it is hard, but well, you can have it easier with either people online or the summons and stuff. But the whole package, it is almost a perfect game. No matter what corner you are, you look at something, you see it's Elden Ring. It doesn't matter what biome you are. The style is through the whole freaking game. It is consistent from start to the end. The audio is next level. They did a great job with the graphics. It might not be Unreal 5 quality, but for what it is an absolutely beautiful and perfectly looking game. So the whole package in itself gives you much more than several different games on its own. So
Yeah.
also the replayability in Elden Ring is insane if you like something like that.
I already have 400 hours in Elden Ring.
And how many playthroughs?
Complete 4. And I started at least 6. 4 of them in randomizer.
I have 258 hours in the game. Didn't finish it once. I have that on one character, and I have only 2 or 3 quests that I will not be able to do. Until this point, I did everything possible in the game, and I'm still not done. So I will continue with it, and I don't know when. I'm not in the mood for it for some reason, but I want to play it. So maybe when I'm on a vacation in winter over Christmas, maybe I pick it up again. I don't know. Yeah, it's 260 hours, and thinking about going back to it. I mean, it's been, when did I play it the last time? I think 2 years ago or so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
time. Where did the time go since I played it? I thought I played it last year. All right. Well, it's not getting any earlier. Wait, before I switch over, let me switch over, but let me see if say something.
Fuck Epic.
Okay. No, I just wanted to see if your voice is still coming through, because different scenes and different whatnot and shit. So yeah, it works. I can go to the end card and we can still hear you. That was my thing.
Great.
Yay! All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for hanging out as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I guess not sure how our plans are, but I guess we do it after Christmas.
Oh yeah, it's 25th for you.
Yeah, so between the New Year and Christmas, I would say maybe. I don't know what. Let me see actually what dates we have there.
Basically from 26 to 30.
Well, then I think we can do it on 30th.
Yeah, fine.
So second last day of the year. Do some stuff. So, hey, fantastic! Thanks for hanging out. You can hang out a little bit longer if you want to. I'm taking a break. I'm getting some foods, but then I'm gonna stream some more. So if you want to hang out a little bit more, feel free to do so. Also, if you want to join me in a game or so. Okay, Lothar. Again, thanks. I'm gonna kick you out now.
Bye everyone.
Bye, Lothar. Yeah, thanks a lot. Really, we do this. Next year will be the 5th year that we do this together. At the beginning, we didn't know where this will be going, but hey, we have almost 50 shows already. So next year, Lothar, show number 50, 5th birthday, that could work perfectly well in March for the birthday of the group, because the last one this year will be 48. Then we have January is 49. Okay, we have to do that a little bit different maybe. But let's make the 50th 5-year anniversary of the the Streamcast and the group. Well, actually, it's 7 years of the group, I think. Let me check that actually real quick. I think the group is 8 years? Wait. Gonna check that here. The group is 8 years next year. So March 24th, 2015, it was created. So yeah, awesome. And we're still doing that. The group isn't really that active, but yeah, well, we're still here and we're still doing it.